The Stockman's Breakfast and Richard Stockman's Big
who's
Brunch.
boundary riding?
Two very different shows in one knockout hour. From 9 a.m. Saturday mornings right here on SEM+.
Got just over a minute, guys.
Thanks, Bruce.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Okay, 25 seconds to the opener.
25 seconds, guys.
Comes the intro.
It's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Put your mics on now.
And it's two heavyweights, Blackburn and Balwyn, in the Premier Division on the big stage as we mark the third instalment of Good Friday footy in the Eastern Football League, live from Balwyn Park. Hello everyone and welcome to our coverage of this big clash, live on SEM Plus 1377 or streaming around the globe on efl.org.au. As I mentioned, Blackburn taking on Balwyn after two very convincing first round victories, both sides coming out on the park as we speak. My name is Damien Watson and joining me for the call of this coverage, we have two very, very experienced communicators in the EFL media team. Firstly, a man who's done it all from a coaching perspective in this competition. Big welcome to Brett Davidson.
Good afternoon, and what a fantastic afternoon we've got for football today. And watch both sides run out in the ground. I'm pretty excited about this contest today. I think it's going to be very, very close, and looking forward to seeing the new look kind of Balwyn and Blackburn with a number of great inclusions as well.
Wayne Brasher, a man who loves the Eastern Football League probably more than any other competition on earth. How are you, Brash? Are you pumped with the perfect conditions today?
Yes, I am, Damien, and what a magnificent afternoon it is out here. The sun's shining, the birds are tweeting, and all that other stuff that goes on with a Good Friday and Easter game. And both these sides, two new look lineups really, and I'm going to be really interested this afternoon to see what the newbies from both sides bring to the table.
That's right, a number of new inclusions. We'll go through them in a moment. Also, a big welcome to the man who'll be joining me in the caller's chair, a veteran of the EFL media team, and he'll be loving this 22-degree day. Big welcome to Gav Casey.
G'day, Damo. It's good to be with you, and what a big game it is. It's only early in the season, and we might be getting excited too early, but I think as the siren blows, as whoever wins this game will set themselves up to be a true challenger, because obviously you've got to rate Blackburn. They nearly made a grand final last year. Balwyn had their first miss of finals in 23 years, have recruited very well and got a couple of players back from injury. So you think they're back in contention, but we might just establish who's up and going very early on in this season.
Oh, without a doubt, I think you're looking at both sides here, and there's class through both units, and I agree. The inclusions to the Balwyn side, the fact that they're under the second year of Rodney Eade, which always takes a while. That they went through two coaches in 3 years basically, so they've had a little bit of a change in the culture. Watching them warm up, the one thing that we've always known about Balwyn, their ball use is as good as anybody going around, and if they can beat someone like a Vermont, who I think is the best ball using team I've seen for a long time in round one, then they're going to go pretty close to being up there this year.
I also think too, right, that actually Rodney Eade might be might be a little bit more at ease this year too. I think it's really important. I mean, look, he comes from a higher background, right? And when coaches of that ilk come from a high level, they have their own expectations, but sometimes they don't translate at this local level. And even Rodney said himself in an interview prior to the season started that he's had to come to grips with the fact that it's local football and that some of the priorities that are at the high level are not necessarily at this level. So if he's found peace with that and the players can feed off that, I think season 2019 is going to be a much better season for Rodney Eade, the coach.
Player I'm looking forward to watching, Gav, Xavier Richards, an inclusion into the Balwyn side. Of course, as former Sydney player, played in the 2016 grand final at the highest level, and of course the brother of Teb Richards. How do you think he'll perform?
Well, funny enough, I think he priced himself out of an AFL contract when he was negotiating about university studies and whether he'd come back to Melbourne, and Sydney just let him go. For a player that would have been handy, it's even today with Sydney, you'd think to be playing at this level, he's got to have an impact. He'll take marks, he'll get up the field, he'll drag his opponent up and down all day. He's got that elite fitness, so he'll be a mismatch for a lot of defenders this year.
And when you look at him, I'm just looking at him now, he's a really nice size of a player. He's that 6'4" running player that's, even though he's not hugely built, you can tell he's got that strength. Rumour is that he's playing at centre half back. I'll be interested to see if that's the case, and they use him here as a running.
They've got enough defenders.
So exactly, you brought Milhusen back. He's a key defender. So it'd be interesting to see where they do use him. But as we've said, we've got him. We see Cam Manuel for the first time
in the white boots. He's going to be hard to miss on the screens when you go through the EFL website.
And you got to remember, this is the bloke who's won a Chandler medal.
Yep, 2016.
He can play football, and to miss a year basically, injury comeback, he'd be super excited about this. And Charlie Haley again, missing another season, coming back from injury. There's some real quality that they've included within this group.
I mean, the thing is, though, one thing that Balwyn lacked last year was that that small forward that built the defensive pressure. And when you look at a bloke like Charlie Haley, that's exactly what he brings to the table, and that's what you need, Gav.
He kicked 14 goals from his 6 games he played, and a 4 in 1 game. And I don't think Blackburn have an equal to him in terms of goals off the pack. They might get some contribution from Danaher, but where is their small crummers consistently getting the goals? They've got their big players like, of course, Hammond and Baffy. They alternate between the goal square and centre forward. But where's the crummer? Well, you got Manuel and Haley. I think that's a good edge for Balwyn.
It definitely is, and I think you'll find that Blackburn work heavily on the fact that they try and get their midfield needs to get 3 to 4 between them, and that gives them the score because they really do rely on their big key forwards. And why not? When you've got Bathy and you've got Hammond up there, they're two great targets. One's tall and the other one's so mobile.
Interestingly, in our first interview with Brendan Allen on EFL Sunday, he said one of the things that he worked on in the off-season was to strengthen the defensive side of their game. And I think that was, and I'll be interested, this will be a very good test for the Blackburn backline early on. And I think they've recruited some outside speed as well, which is something that they really need, especially heading onto the big grounds.
Both teams about to assume their positions. We'll get some tips for this big clash. Blackburn probably haven't had their big test yet. They played Montrose in round 1. Davo, who are you favouring here?
Look, I'm going to stick with Balwyn at home. I think with the inclusions, you've got to remember, they beat South Croydon at South Croydon without 4 of their better players in their side. And I know South Croydon were missing a couple as well, but I think today, I think they're going to look, they might be a little bit too strong for Blackburn, but it could go either way.
Brash?
I'm going to go with Blackburn. I'm thinking this year that Blackburn are going to offer a little bit, and I think with Bathy and Hammond together, I'm going to tip them.
Let's head to our car sales boundary riders for the first time this afternoon. Hayden Tilbrook and Penelope Knight are down there.
Hi guys, look, it's a fine day out here, great day for some football, but I reckon Blackburn might just come away with the win, but it's going to be a good one.
No doubt.
Balwyn at home for me.
Fantastic. Good to see our boundary riders getting into the thick of things. Great conditions, as I said, 22 degrees. Gav, your tip for this clash?
I'm going to remain faithful to Blackburn and what they did last year. Balwyn's going to be an extremely hard test, but it might be a close one. Blackburn just.
Just about to get set for this big clash. Blackburn and Balwyn back on Good Friday football in the Premier Division, and the Rucks go at it. Monkhurst to contest for Balwyn. He missed the tap out. It comes down to ground level. Perhaps a secondary bounce will ensue as players go in on the scrimmage, and that ball is not coming out. We'll have that secondary bounce. Interesting lineups out there.
Yeah, Milhausen's gone straight to Bathy, and Pendlebury's gone straight to
Hammond.
Monkhurst got the clearing kick towards centre half forward for the Tigers. Assuming the front position is Otten for Blackburn. Couldn't quite get a clean handle on the football. He has support through Tyler Faulkner. Tries to go backwards to go forwards. Assumes the position to Patterson. Kicks towards the centre wing position. Flying high was Taylor Gilchrist. And the free kick has been picked out for the chopping of the arms. It's going the way of Reddy Gilchrist, his brother, for the Tigers. And he can send them into attack. Off one step. Probing kick to full forward. 1-on-1 contest. Falls out the back. Goebbels couldn't quite claim it. And the umpire's blown the whistle. A free kick's been paid. It's going the way of the Burners, and they'll try and resume an attack from defence.
Could have almost gone to Goebbels. There was a bit of a wrestle at full forward.
I actually thought it was going to.
Yeah, so that's where my hint is in that commentary, as the ball's kicked long out of defence, but Balwyn set up a nice wall. They collected it half forward. The hand pass was a looping one close to the boundary line. Hopeful, but in the end it's gone out of bounds 60 metres around from the Tigers' goals as they go to the White Horse Road end.
Or the northern end.
Northern end, is that what you prefer?
I love the compass.
So it's a boundary throw in Howell. The tall 200-centimetre player is in back position, and it goes to ground level across, just gets dragged down off the ball. So Blackburn win a free kick at half back, and a short one in the centre, well taken by Murphy. Goes across ground. That's dangerous. Who does it suit? It's a one-on-one contest now, and Balwyn's first there. Goebbels might help out. It goes over his head, thankfully for the Burners, but they're in a heat of trouble, and Haley comes in with severe tackle. Turnover, quick kick from the turnover, goes straight towards goal, and it's gone, bouncing through. Who kicked that one, Damo? That was so speedy across half forward.
Someone with
great
orange
tackle, James Freeman, the man himself who was starring in round one. He's kicked the first on the board.
Yes.
Haley got the free kick dispossessed and picked up by Freeman for the goal.
Yeah, the man with the orange boots. We're not going to miss him this afternoon, James Freeman. Another good matchup I'm seeing here. Jack Martin, recruit from Doncaster East, is going to be held a lot more accountable in this division, and he's up against Paddy Lawler this afternoon, who could run him a merry dance if he chooses to.
Balwyn with first blood, they're 1 straight 6. Blackburn yet to score on the Eastland scoreboard as we resume once again. Kick out of the pack from Danaher. He'll be dangerous for Blackburn towards left half forward. The bounce eluded the intended target in Baffy. They have numbers at the back. Conker lost his footing. Quick kick towards the top of the goal square. Chance for Hammond. He's absolutely besieged, and the Balwyn defence can work it out through Manwell once again towards centre half back. It's a dangerous kick. Monkhurst forced the spoil. Good tackle applied there in the clinches by O'Regan. He's been good so far this year. Still a chance for O'Regan. Bustles his way through. Handpass comes out to Fraser. Hacks it towards the centre of the ground for the Tigers. This is hot stuff. This is what we like to see. Handpass comes out. Smart couldn't quite take it. Misread the handpass. Now Blackburn have the numbers. It's in the centre of the ground. Otten was in there. Quick kick out of the pack, and we'll have some respite as the Tigers clear it from half back.
Only just Rebels' kick was rushed. Then it was all Blackburn across half back. Now the short to half forward is well marked by Danaher. So he'll slow it down and survey all options. He's just forward of centre circle. High ball, hoping for the leap of Hammond. Doesn't go the leap. Might be the Rover. He eventually gets to it, but he bumps his own teammate. Murphy bounces off. Hands it off to his teammate in Conker. And from the pocket, he dribbles it through. Open goal, but big pressure. Blackburn answer. 4 minutes gone. It's 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, really good play there by Blackburn. They had numbers around the contest, and really smart play there by Conco, who rove the ball, and very smart there, Dave. Just dribbled it along the ground.
Yeah, it was. I think it was silly. There was a
Manuel, that kick there. That was not a good kick.
And 4-on-1 up in the contest there from Blackburn, from Balwyn. I thought, they needed to have someone else on the ground.
Let's head to our car sales boundary riders, Penelope and Hayden.
Oh, look, it's tense stuff down here. It's a great start to the quarter, and it's unbelievable football at the moment. So it's going to be a good game, guys.
Yeah, great atmosphere. Good crowd too in attendance at Balwyn Park. They've come out for this Good Friday occasion. Now the secondary bounce in the middle as Monkhurst was wrapped up. One straight 6 apiece on the Eastland scoreboard. Cross couldn't quite pick the ball up. Eventually it shuffled out. Gilchrist tried to kick it off the ground. Hand pass comes out from Fraser. Missed the target. It's in the centre of the ground. Still a blind hand pass. They'll run forward through Conker. Still a chance now for the Burners as Conker pushes his opponent over the boundary line at right half forward for Blackburn.
This ruck contest is going to be a very good one with 2 new players to each club, Howe versus Monkhorst. Looking forward to that contest.
Monkhorst is like his dad. He is a monster, isn't he? He's a big, big boy.
Of course, Riley Monkhurst, son of Collingwood Premiership player Damien Monkhurst, as we resume hostilities once again. Coming out of the pack there, the hand pass comes through from Gray, kicks it long towards full forward. Baffy misread the judgment in the end, and as a result, the 2-on-1 wins out for Balwyn. Gilchrist. The kick comes towards centre wing. Flying high there was Weatherald and O'Regan. He forced it to ground level. Go Ball's hand pass was smothered. Still a chance for Blackburn. It's at left half forward as Otten dives in for the footy. Cross gets a quick kick out towards centre wing. Now they can utilise the space here at the back through Freeman, the Tigers. Paddling it forward. Blackburn have the numbers across half back. Hand pass comes out there to Alia, the man from Beaconsfield. Gets it out. Still Balwyn trying to take advantage and capitalise on their numbers, but it falls out of play. 55 out for the Tigers goal.
Gee, the pace is hot early for both sides. Both sides are throwing everything at it here.
And making a lot of mistakes with their hands at the moment. But that's through the pressure of the contest.
Half forward it is for Balwyn. Monkhorst takes front position, but Howe runs around him. Good agility, gets the palm down, but to no one in particular for his own team. Alia has to do the punch at half back. Down to ground level, where there's one from each side jumping on the ball, and it'll be a ball up centre forward for Balwyn, going to the northern end. 1 goal apiece, 6.5 minutes into the first term. Ground level ball, pack of 6 from each team. Disputed ball, kick off the ground by Blackburn, nearly opens it up. Will it fall for the runner? Eventually they do get it through the middle, do the Burners. Long ball, Hammond, 1 versus Pendlebury. Oh, Baffy it was, pushes Millhausen out of the way, picks up his own rotary, hands it over to the man, all on his own, the goal square, gets chased down, but gets his foot to the ball, and Bartlett gets the second goal on the board for the Burners, and they hit the front by 6 points.
One thing that we've noticed already is that when the ball is in dispute and there's a contest, basically half the ground has been left open, so it allows the team who's got it to get it out as quick as they can and run. And so far, the run-off half-back of Blackburn has been excellent, and that's been their 2 driving thrusts into their forward 50, and some clever work then with the handball.
Baffy was brilliant with that hand pass. He was blind but managed to find a teammate. It's 2 goals to 1 in favour of Blackburn on the Eastland scoreboard. As we resume again from the centre, Cross hacks the kick towards centre half forward for the Tigers. It's a 2-on-1 contest. Claimed there was Urban. Now the Burners can work it forward towards centre field. It goes over the head there of Doreen. Still a chance now for Blackburn at half forward as Hammond tries to break through a couple of would-be tacklers. Still a chance for Tink. Hand pass comes out there. Was brilliant from Weatherald. Found the target. Eventually it ends up with Reddy Gilchrist. He's stripped of the football. Still a chance now for Blackburn through Lawler. His kick was smothered, and as a consequence, Balwyn could clear through Weatherald towards left half forward. It's a 2-on-1 contest. It's hot footy. O'Regan gets the hand pass out. It was partially smothered. Still the ball in dispute on centre wing, and the umpires picked out a free kick and paying the advantage. The way of Reddy Gilchrist looks towards full forward. Goebbels was caught behind. Well spoiled. Great defence from Blackburn. Great attacking, and they can work it through the corridor. Kick towards centre half forward. Hammond going back with the flight. Couldn't quite take it. Still a chance here for the Burners. The hand pass comes out from Bartlett towards full forward. Baffy a clever tap. It was a bit too crude there for Lawler, and as a consequence, the Tigers could clear here through Gilchrist.
It's Taylor Gilchrist who spots a teammate at half-back close to the boundary line, but it was good. It got to his teammate in San Filippo. They go in board, and Rennie Gilchrist has now got it. His kick's a high one. It's floating over his intended centre forward, and Blackburn gets numbers to the contest. They'll go through the middle. Harkin's in the middle. He gives a nice little dinky hand pass and sets up the long kick. It's 1v3. Balwyn must win it, but it comes to ground level. It's a big effort by Revel to get his body in the line. Lawler gets in the line of the ball, but he only knocks it to Pendlebury. He's tackled. Taken on now is Bartlett. And it was Lawler as well, but Blackburn, it's been kicked out of the defence. Alia had got taken high as he bent over the ball at half forward, and he might get the free kick, and we'll go boundary side to Hayden.
Guys, Jackson Weatherald, he started really well. His work rate across half-back and through the middle has been outstanding. He's getting to every contest at the moment, and he's been massive for Balwyn early.
It must have been ducking into it, because I thought that was going to be a free kick to Elliott.
I think they got him around, like he ducked in, but I think they got him around the right way. Tell you what, this is as hot as a final. This is as hot as a final at the moment.
Absolutely, it's certainly hard to keep up. Even at AFL standard, they'd be loving this. O'Regan, a high ball towards right half-forward. Goebbels was pushed underneath the football. Attempted soccer off the ground there from Haley to no avail. It went over. We'll have a throw in right half-forward for the Tigers.
I know he hasn't had many touches yet, but Hammond's working really hard in that forward half to try and make a contest, but even try and keep the ball in there inside 50. He nearly got one off there just a minute ago.
I think they're worried about his pace. I think he's got a little bit too much pace at the moment.
Blackburn lead 2-1 over Balwyn on the Eastland scoreboard. 10 minutes into this first term. Great conditions on Good Friday here at Balwyn Park. The tap is won by Howe for the Burners. We'll have a secondary bounce from the stoppage. 55 out for the Tigers' goal.
Already Balwyn have made a change with the way they've set up. They've set up with outriders across the middle, so to stop the quick outward spread by Blackburn.
They certainly are utilising that spread. Tap one there by Anderson for the Tigers. Again, no one can claim clear possession, and we'll have another bounce as the tempo goes out of it. Good tackle by Patterson.
We might get up boundary riders just to check 65 to be sure for Blackburn. We'll go back to that when we get the name and number. Quick kick out by the Burners. They relieve from half-back. Hammond over the top with the fly. He nearly tried to pull it in his chest, but he doesn't fall down with it. But Blackburn have the ball at ground level. Kick it long towards Baffy. He runs towards. He's got a teammate surging forward. Open 50. So he loads up. Long. And he just sneaks it in. Blackburn, big goal from Baffy. Wide open 50. So he just put the bomb in, and it was straight through the middle. Well, just scraped in. Should be... Blackburn 3 straight 18 leading ball and 1 straight 6.
He really didn't have many options there. Only Bartlett, he could have handballed over.
Conker as well.
But he sized it up and thought, well, okay, there was someone right on Bartlett's tail, so he's gone for the shot and created the space.
So far, both their bigs have been very influential in their goals to date, so that's a concern for the Balwyn back half.
The Burners with the early upper hand on the Eastland scoreboard. 3 straight goals to 1. It's clean footy, it's half footy so far in this first term. Hammond leads up again at half forward. The ball is at centre half forward here for the Blackbird side, and we'll have yet another bounce. As diving in on top of the ball is Bartlett to lock it up.
I've been really impressed with Blackburn's tackling early on too. It's been...
Certainly has. No one could get a quick kick out of the scrimmage. Gilchrist was taken down. That was Taylor, and we'll have another bounce.
What do you call that in wrestling moves?
That's, I don't know that one. I watch a lot of wrestling. Forgot that one.
No tag teaming there, that's for sure. Cross's tackle was high. The umpire saw that. It'll be a Blackburn ball.
It's a belly-to-belly suplex.
Right. At least it's not the camel clutch.
Ray, 65 out from goal. It's a congested forward line. He looks for Bathy. He flies high
yes.
and takes a ripping mark in between 2 players. He was the meat in the sandwich, but the meat won out, and Baffy can go and have a shot from 30 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Well, there's a goal. There's a mark contender for mark of the day.
And they said at the start of the year that this is one of their most impressive. Their ruckman Howe and getting Bathy to commit for the year was going to be huge for them, and you can see already his influence on the game.
Baffy shooting for his 2nd goal of the quarter. This to increase Blackburn's momentum. 30 metres out. He split the middle. The Burners love it. That's his 2nd on the board. And Blackburn move on to 4 straight 24. They lead Balwyn 1 straight 6. 13 minutes gone. First term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Baffy basically plays that sort of role that Ainger does for Vermont. They're both very similar type players. Let's go down boundary side, Hayden.
Guys, we got number 65 for Blackburn is Matty Day.
Thank you very much. Just needed that confirmed. Thank you for your help there, Hayden.
For car sales.
.com.
Rucks go at it. Centre of Balwyn Park. No clear win out of the centre. And the tackles, you complimented Blackburn, but I think up for the contest are Balwyn.
Oh, they are?
It's just not spilling their way from their tackling. Maybe they'll get a centre surge here. It goes out to Manuel. He picks it up. Has to go backwards to his teammate in cross. He kicks around the corner to half forward. Numbers are even. Goebbels comes off his foot. Goes back towards Blackburn's goals by 5 metres. It's a big contest forward. Quick kick out. Who will it suit? Blackburn have got the defender in front, but it's a spilled mark. Ground level ball. 2 tacklers for Blackburn. That's why they win. And at ground level outlier, they get it to the wing. On the bounce, it gets to Hammond. He gets it over to his teammate. Now a quick kick. Conker's running with it. Will he run on? Because Baffy's all over the goal square. He gets pushed over by Pendlebury. Very smart because he played on quickly, had Baffy all on his own. Now Conker's confused. Runs towards the mark. Underground hand pass didn't work. And the defenders will get back. And Balwyn don't concede the ball out of bounds. Yes, there is the whistle. They'll be very thankful that Galitson got it over because they were under a heap of pressure. And Conker, he must have just been so dejected by the quick play on that he ran himself in circles.
Yeah, he just had a momentary lapse of reason there, Luke Conker.
He might not have been able to see him. That's one of the other things. Sometimes when it's a one-on, he gets trapped behind the player because it looked like he didn't actually see him.
Pendlebury pushed him over.
He did. He did a great bit of work, Pendlebury.
So throw in once again. It's on the half-forward line here for the Burners. Harkins couldn't quite grab the loose ball and latch onto it. And Xavier Richards, the new recruit for Balwyn, kicks it towards centre half-forward. Now a whistle has been blown from the umpire. It's a downfield free kick for holding off the ball, I'm told, and it'll be a Balwyn free in the hands of Haley, who's the recipient. He's 60 metres out from goal, sends a floating kick towards full forward. It's a chaos ball, still a chance for the Tigers inside their 50. Weatherall tries to pick up the loose ball. In fact, it was Freeman on the outside of the boot, centres the ball to the top of the goal square, but to no avail. There was no one home, and the Burners can clear through Parker.
They've been very good at doing this so far, Blackburn. Their outlet passing's been exceptional.
Day goes down the line and Baffy, he's roaming from goal square to wing. He's on the wing and he's got Hammond. Will he leap? He's being held around the body, but he still gets up there and takes a nice mark in front of his opponent. So from 50, he's got a short on. Leading option comes towards him and Lawler gets it on the chest with no contest. 35 metres out, but he is left boundary side, so you can imagine that is a very acute angle.
There's a lot of finger pointing going on with the Balwyn players at the moment about why could that player be allowed 20 metres by himself in the forward 50.
So Patrick Lawler, 27 goals last year. He's a great contributor for the Burners up forward. Now he puts it left post. Is it hooking? Yes, it is. As the umpire pats his chest, signals their first miss. They move on to 4-1-25, leading by 19 as Balwyn have won 6 straight. 16 and a half minutes gone, first term.
I think it's been their clearance work, their work at the contest, and their spread and run, which has really hurt Balwyn at this moment.
So Chris Pendlebury, the designated kicker, plays on, kicks towards centre wing. Monkhurst is in the box seat. He forces it forward for a spoil, but at the back, reading the play well was Patterson. Chips the pass, finds Harkins, his teammate, 70 out from goal. The Burners certainly capitalising on their momentum. That kick was a stray, however, over the head of the intended target in Bathy, and as a consequence, the Tigers can clear from right half back. Be taken there by Weatherall.
He's the one I didn't know. That Patterson, I reckon's cleared the ball 4 or 5 times from the back half already. He's been outstanding on his left foot.
Max Hodden forces it over the line with a spoil. True centre wing position. It's a great atmosphere on this Good Friday at Balwyn Park, and the Burners lead 4-1 to Balwyn 1 straight Eastland scoreboard. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 1377 SEM Plus and streaming right around the globe on efl.org.au as you go local for your footy. Bit of a nudge there from Howe, the umpire noticed, and it's going to be a free kick in favour of Monkhurst for the Tigers. So Riley Monkhurst has been prominent early. Kick towards right half forward. Goebbels is nudged out of the pack, and as a consequence, Otten takes the mark for the Burners. He can clear, chips it towards centre half back. Anthony Fagan takes the mark, former Box Hill player, chips it short and finds Harkins. They're working it forward here methodically, the Burners. Kick towards centre wing, made Lawler chase for it, couldn't quite hold the mark. It's on the half volley, paddled it to his advantage, gets the hand pass back, and the Burners now have space. Spearing ball towards Conker, he's against 2, forced it to ground through a spoil. Lawler did well to read the play, hand pass to Fagan at centre wing. His kick was well smothered there by Martin for the Tigers. Good tackle applied, and will have a bounce right on true centre wing in front of the grandstand here at Balwyn Park.
And there's the difference already. There's been 3 contests there where the ball got ricocheted and a Blackburn player was the one to be able to get it. They're working so much harder around the contest.
Monkhurst jumps into Howe, but Howe saw him off. It came from Manuel, but his hand pass was intercepted. Now it's 1-on-1, and it's Hammond, but he got beaten this time. Pendlebury just knocks it out of his grasp, and it hits the behind post. No score, but it's a ball in, close to Blackburn's goals. That's an interesting matchup.
It is, and that was great contest, and that was well umpired.
Yeah, he let that one go when he had to.
I don't think Hammond's going to be allowed to leap at any contest, whether he's front or behind. That's why they probably jumped 3 against him when he stayed down.
Double teamed him a lot as well.
They're scared of his aerial ability. But it's now ball in. Big opportunity to Blackburn to extend their lead, which is 19. First to it is Howe. He takes out the ruck. He takes on a tackler. And Gilchrist, Rennie, the captain, holds up the defence. And he'll kick long. He's got a couple of guys running to the ball. Beautiful pinpoint pass. And O'Regan gets it on the sprint. Now he goes long down the line. There's only one option. Gets underneath it. Well, was pushed underneath it. And, Blackburn, they spill the ball into the running player. And it's now Richards running at an open goal. But his kick let him down. He just maybe sprinted too hard for himself to get some poise, and he's missed the lot from 45. From one side of the half-forward flank, he's missed it to the left.
Well, that was good transition play by Balwyn. First time they've done that for a while, and that should have been a score at least.
Yeah, classic case of overexertion. Blackburn lead it by 19 points on the Eastland scoreboard. Time on in this first term. Tap one for the Burners by Howe. They're deep in defence. Good play there from Danaher. Was cool in a crisis. Kicked it out of the congestion, but it's gone out on the full. So it'll come back in for the Tigers. The recipient is Sam Filippo. It's returned to the side. From injury, a long kick towards the top of the square. The Flyers contest. Spoil at the back, and it's rushed through from Otten. The appeal is there for deliberate, not forthcoming, and it's a minus score. So Balwyn 1-1-7. They trail Blackburn 4-1-25. 21 gone first term on the Eastland scoreboard.
That's where you got to kick it to the top of the square, not middle of the square. Too easy to defend when you do that.
They're not going to pay deliberate if they never paid that one right then. So that's a long kick for Otten, and Howe just spikes it out of bounds, and he's happy to do ruck duties.
One thing Brendan Allen will be really impressed with is the discipline of his back line in this first quarter. They really haven't put a foot wrong.
So it's a boundary throw in 50 metres around. If you're watching on the web, it's a 40-metre arc, so we're only 50 out from the northern end goals. Howe knocks it down. His Rovers come in late. Quick kick forward by Blackburn. Bouncing ball eludes a couple. It's a contest where Hammond knocks it out, but he got pushed into the contest, says the umpire. So Hammond will get it back off his teammate in Harkins.
Options in the corridor.
He's got Fagan short. He'll go over the man on the mark to Fagan, who stretches. Plays on quickly. He had a man inboard. It's a rushed hand pass to Gray. Gray's got some composure. Wheels into the centre. Kicks it towards his teammate. Drop mark by Murphy. Ground level ball. Huge tackle on Gilchrist, but he rides them and pushes them off. And his kick goes to the centre circle where Hammond sets himself and takes a nice mark in front of his opponent in Milheisen, who just pushed him over and slows it down.
I reckon Brendan Allen's moved him up the ground a little bit more just to get him into the play.
And his kick's been chopped off on the wing. So turnover ball with Goebbels, and hasn't seen much of it. Short pass, finds it to his teammate Emil Hughes, and now the ball goes out the back, but it was close to the line and it goes out of bounds, half forward flank for Balwyn.
Now that was just a nothing kick. That was a nothing kick to a no contest. There was no, just put it up into no man's land there. So that's been one of the disappointing parts of Balwyn. They just haven't been able to enter their 50 with any purpose.
So ball in on the half forward flank here for the Tigers. 3-goal margin. Monkhurst worked himself to the front position. No one won the tap, however. Fagan at the bottom of the pack, besieged by a couple of Tigers. Quick kick comes out. Blackburn have the numbers deep in defence. Flying high was Freeman. Couldn't quite take the mark. Still the ball in dispute. On top of it is Harkins. Tried to effect the tackle. Barging his way through there. It was good play from Liam Murphy for the Burners. Still a chance now as they look to clear off half back. Good evasion. Cleary kick didn't go very far. Conker was wrapped up. Still a chance for Liam Murphy. He was swung around in a free 60, and as a consequence, the Tigers will have a free kick for holding the ball, and the recipient is Jack Martin. So Martin moves on very quickly. The kick was a shocker in the end. Gave his forwards no opportunity, and Patterson leads out and takes the mark in defence for the Burners.
I don't think Haley even led to the ball.
Well, he slipped, I think. As the ball came in, he slipped, and
So the kick goes out wide. It hasn't been on this wing. Oh, there was a fly, but it was too early by Dorian. And it comes out wide and out of bounds. He had about a minute to look at it. He jumped, but he even had a minute and he still got up to the contest a bit early, did Dorian. and it's gone out of bounds on the wing. With the new complex here at Balwyn, looking beautiful. I don't know if it's functional yet. We were talking on the podcast, EFL Inside, about it being used. Award-winning, yes, I did get the reminder, as if I need to be reminded of that. Thanks, Dan Sensick, media manager. Back to the game. It's Balwyn moving forward. Dorian held up in defence. And it's now looking at the Eastland scoreboard late in this first term. 4-1-25 up Blackburn. 19-point leaders over Balwyn, who are 1 straight 6. It spills forward of the contest. Picked up by the Burners. Now they go inboard. Lawler, he had the sun in his eyes, but he took the chest mark. He looks for further options. Day might be the only one, so he goes short. And he does find a teammate who holds it up at half forward, and it's Parker. Parker, centre forward he goes. Finds a man all on his own. Quick to rush in was O'Regan, just to put the stops on the forward momentum. Short pass to Baffy. He's in distance, and he dropped it because he got ahead of himself. And Baffy hand passes after tackled. Now it's a rush ball for Blackburn. Conker, the little man, tried to go tall, but he was outstretched by Galeepson, 30 metres out from goal.
Be breathing a sigh of relief, the Balwyn fans. Got Leapson. Looks towards the centre weak position on the eastern side. Flying high there for the mark was Faulkner. Couldn't quite bring it down. The Burners still have the numbers across that wall at the centre of the ground. Faulkner gets it back on the right foot. Spearing ball in the Hammond direction. Didn't quite reach him. Took it well on the half volley. He was besieged by a couple of Tigers. And it's a high tackle. He can go back and have a shot 42 metres out from goal.
That was really well done because he had 2 to beat there, and he positioned his body really well and took the tackle and rode that tackle and was rewarded because of a sloppy effort there by a Balwyn player.
Fraser came in second.
Yeah.
The tackle was already applied, didn't need to come in.
No.
I think what's happening is Balwyn are playing a zone defence, and they're being cut out because of the short passes from the Blackburn players all the time.
Jake Hammond from an acute angle kicked 56 goals last season. He won't add to that tally. That's a minus score to the left. So Blackburn move on to 4-2-26. They lead Balwyn 1 straight 6 late in the first term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Balwyn just look a bit down on leg speed early on in this game too.
So Penderbury, you don't have to kick it yourself anymore, and that's a top! And it's gone beyond the centre circle here at Balwyn. But it's Blackburn reading it nicely, get it forward, and it gets to the teammate in Harkins. Harkins within 50, he's got a short on, leading option. Conker gets underneath it, maybe not the right option to fall forward, but Conker's tough, and it's a big tackle, and it's ball! Dropped by Reverald. So the free kick to Conker, lining up from 30 metres out, and this is for the 5th goal and stretch the lead to 20. Let's quickly go boundary side for Carsales. Hayden.
It's Penn here. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, it's all good. It's electrifying down here. Blackburn's tackling pressure is just phenomenal. It's a great game, but
thanks to Penelope and Hayden doing good work on the boundary side, but it's Conker inside the rope. 30 metres out, straight in front. The goal umpire has to make no effort and signals a goal. It is now 5-2-32 on the Eastland scoreboard. Blackburn lead by 26, and that is Conker's 2nd goal.
He's been very dangerous up there. Just his pressure work. He's been able to get out the back a number of times, and while he made 1 or 2 mistakes, he's been a real dangerous forward, and that's something that Balwyn haven't had at this stage down their forward line. But they've got a lot of work to do here, Balwyn. They do look a little bit slow on their feet at the moment.
Dying stages of this first term. The Burners lead by 26, and the Red Jackets are waving as we're back in the middle. Kick off the ground there from Haley, trying to force it for the Tigers. He was taken down illegally in a tackle in the back, and he receives the free kick. Boots it towards centre half forward. Can they muster a late goal here, the Tigers? O'Regan tried to duck his way out of the tackle. Gets the hand pass away. Faulkner was taken down as holding the ball. The umpire does not respond to the appeals, and it'll be a ball up 35 metres out from the Balwyn goal.
I think they're arguing that there was a fair similarity between the two decisions then. Player had the ball and tried to beat the tackle.
Manuel was taken down in the scrimmage. Alia on top of the ball. Chance here for the Tigers. Manuel kicks towards goal. He's off target. And to the left, only a minor score. So Balwyn move on to 1-1-7. They trail Blackburn 5-2-32. 28.5 gone first term. Eastland scoreboard.
Manuel's got the white boots, but they might not be his kicking boots. He's turned a couple over and he missed from 30 under a heap of pressure though. Give him that. And there is the siren. It's quarter time here out at Balwyn, but it's the visitors having a great lead on the Eastland scoreboard. Blackburn 5-2-32, leading by 25. Balwyn a 1-1-7.
Yes, the major goal scorers on the park for Blackburn. Luke Conker has booted 2 goals and also 2 to Ryan Baffy. And here on EFL Game Day, it is Blackburn with a good lead. Bartlett, the other goal scorer for the Burners, and the sole major scorer is James Freeman for Balwyn, continuing on his good form. We'll take a break. It's quarter time. Good Friday football here on EFL Game Day, right here on 1377 SEN Plus, and streaming right around the globe, efl.org.au. In the Good Friday clash, it's Blackburn 5-2-32, leading Balwyn 1-1-7. Back with the second term very shortly.
The award-winning clear.
Hot specials at the Bottle-O this weekend. Pick up Great Northern Super Crisp 30-can block for only $47. Only at the Bottle-O. End Sunday. Conditions apply. Drink responsibly.
Replacing trains along the Sandringham line until Monday, April 22nd. For more information and to find your plan B, visit bigbill.vic.gov.au. A smash has been cleared in Preston on Plinter Road at Wood Street, another crash in Torquay on Geelong Road at Beach Road, and you'll find it's very heavy on the Princess Freeway through Werribee. Enjoy 25% off selected furniture and homewares collections at Oz Design Furniture. Hurry, 25% off must end Monday. Visit ozdesignfurniture.com.au. T's and C's apply. That's the latest traffic on 1377 SEN Plus.
Breakfast with Gary and Tim. Weekdays from 6 on SEN.
Kickstart holiday fun at Kmart with their great range of the hottest toys at irresistible prices. Like Marvel Avengers Deluxe movie figure at $24. Head into Kmart today.
The award-winning Crunch Time. Tomorrow from 11 on SEN.
Stock up at the Bottle-O this weekend. Pick up a bottle of Captain Morgan Spiced Gold 1 litre for only $50. Yes, just $50. Only at the Bottle-O. End Sunday. Drink responsibly.
Off the Bench with Hutchie and Pickers. Tomorrow from 9 on SEN.
If you're a footy mad AFL fan, you'll want the best view of the action on game day.
Breaks through, the goal, kicks one of the goals of the year.
Enjoy the best seats in the house with a Centre Wing membership, available from marvelstadium.com.au. Get access to priority ticketing, an exclusive bar, and premium seating to enjoy your game. Head to marvelstadium.com.au to become a Centre Wing member today. Centre Wing, footy at its best.
It's Tyre Power's massive Easter sale with more great deals on big brand tyres. At Tyre Power, you'll get the power of our giant giveaway on Toyo tyres. Simply buy 3 and we'll give you 1 free on a great range of Toyo passenger car and SUV tyres. That's right, buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres at Tyre Power. Conditions apply. See website or in-store for details. Tyre Power's massive Easter sale is now on. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator.
Wow, there's some great timber colours here.
Yeah, that's right.
There's reds, browns. I think I want a bit of character. Oh, wow, look at all these choices. Oh, there's tulips.
Let's go for the tulips then. They just look gorgeous.
Tobin Brothers Funerals' latest Memory Maker app now gives you more choice than ever before. Select from a wide range of coffins, caskets and floral arrangements, view them in 360 degrees and compare selections and prices. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating life.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchens.
1 minute 15.
6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
For all the roast lamb, chocolate gifts and entertainment you need this Easter, head to Eastland. Our cinemas and restaurants are open Good Friday for quality family time. Beat the crowds and stock up for a feast on Easter Saturday. Fresh food opens 8 a.m. and everything else is open 9 to 5. We're also open Easter Sunday and Monday from 10 to 5, so you can get all you need for a happy, hoppy long weekend. Visit eastland.com.au for our opening times and much more. Eastland, live real.
I'm Gerard Waitley. In the thick of the Easter weekend, David King will run.
30 seconds.
Domination for a large portion of the game with no real response or nothing evident from the coach's box.
Join me Monday from 9.
Powered by a 100% Australian electricity and gas retailer. That's Red Energy. Switch today. The all-new BMW X5 now at Don.
Okay, coming in now. We've got just the throw. Stand by.
9 on SEN.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Putting the mics on now.
Welcome back to EFL Game Day. What a frenetic opening term we have just witnessed here on this coverage. It is Blackburn taking advantage early on in this Premier Division Good Friday clash. It is the Burners 5-2-32, leading Balwyn 1-1-7 at Balwyn Park in front of pristine conditions, absolutely picturesque on this Good Friday. And I tell you what, the crowd has turned out. Davo, Brett Davidson, what are your estimates?
Well, it's hard to, but you see these quarter-time crowds around the huddle. That's finals like, to see that many people out there. It's just fantastic on Good Friday to see that. So, yeah, very good.
Let's head to our car sales boundary riders. Penelope Knight is down there.
Hi guys, I've got Ronnie here. Look, it's been a great first quarter. Its pressure is on, but I don't feel like the scoreboard is representing the play out there. What was the message to the guys?
Yeah, I think we just got beaten in a few areas that have been our strength over the pre-season, the first game. So we just made a few many mistakes. Obviously the pressure for Blackburn was pretty good. We thought our pressure was okay, but just and our skills going inside 50. So there's some things to work on. Probably the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but having said that, Blackburn played really well. We need to improve. Chris, where are you going?
Thanks very much, Rodney. Cheers, guys.
Rodney E down there with Penelope Knight for car sales. He's directing traffic already, even in the middle of an interview. That's fantastic. Great to have that type of access as well. Wayne Brasher, it's a 4-goal margin. Blackburn 5-2-32, Balwyn 1-2-8 on the Eastland scoreboard at this first change. How can the Tigers get back into it?
Well, I think they're going to need they need the first couple just to steady their nerves and try and work themselves back into a bit of rhythm here. They've been completely outplayed. They can't get the game on their terms at the moment. Blackburn's speed off their half back line, where they've got numbers at the contest, their half forward line just can't get anywhere near it. And then when the ball gets down forward, the Blackburn midfield are working extremely hard to create those 2 and 3 extra players around the contest, and Balwyn just can't keep up with that. So I think it's coming down to leg speed for mine at the moment. It was a hot first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Expect the game to settle down to more manageable lengths, but for mine, Balwyn have got to do a bit more in this opening 10 minutes of the second quarter, Damien, to get back in the contest.
No doubt, the crowd dispersing. Gav, you've been watching EFL footy for a long time. Have you seen a frenetic opening term as that?
No, I actually struggle to keep up at times, and even when you were talking, I was like, I'm getting out of breath just watching it. It was that fast.
Let's hit boundary side for car sales. Hayden Tilbrook.
Guys, I caught up with Blackburn coach Brendan Allen just coming out of the break. He was stoked with his sides, with his back sixes zone that they'd set up. We saw that Balwyn were really struggling to bring it out of their defensive 50, and he just wanted them to take a bit more time on the counter going forward and stop sitting it on their forwards' heads, and just wanted those forwards to work back and lead up a bit more.
Great stuff. Hayden Tilbrook and Penelope Knight for car sales. Start of the second term. Good Friday football here on EFL Game Day, and it's Blackburn by 4 goals as we resume play once again. And it's Cross getting the clearance for ball with a high ball towards centre half forward. O'Regan almost took the chest mark. It bounced off his chest. Sharman got the hand pass away for the Tigers, but again the Burners tried to keep it in play. That was good work from Dorian in a confined space. It comes out to Danaher with the hand pass. Danaher hacks it towards left half forward. It's all Balwyn and no one home for the Burners, and a great mark by Taylor Gilchrist between half forward and centre wing. In his defensive zone here, Taylor Gilchrist, Sydney rookie 10 years ago, has been a stalwart for Balwyn since. Cross flew high, couldn't quite take the mark. Hand pass comes out in the direction there of Vazari. Gets the kick away for the Burners. It's still at centre wing. That tackling pressure has been fierce from the Burners. It's on display once again. That was great work there in the thick of things by Dave. We'll have a bounce between half forward and centre wing for the Burners.
Already been a big move from Balwyn. They've put Richards onto Hammond down in the forward line.
Howe wins the tap down, trying to break through the Burners, but they've been held up. Some good tackling and scrapping for the ball at half forward.
And the fact that Hammond hasn't been the dominant forward, that says something in itself, that move.
Howe versus Monkhorst. Howe uses his 200 centimetre frame just to win the tap down. The quick kick forward's going out of the full by Lawler, and it'll be a free kick on the last line for Pendlebury to pick off. And he runs in board just to get in line with the play, and the umpire says play on. His hand pass has been juggled by his teammate. A heap of pressure there for O'Regan. Hand pass quickly to half back. Can Balwyn claim the ball? They're under a heap of And the trouble comes back with Howe. Howe gives it off to Baffy. Baffy gets tackled, but he hand passes just in time. Big pressure on the Balwyn defence, but they hold up 40 metres out from goal.
That says to me structurally there's something wrong at the moment with Balwyn. They had the ball, they had an opportunity to go down the line but there was no one there actually to give it to.
Boundary.
So it's Howe standing up again, wins the tap down, trying to get a shot at goal, but Balwyn come in with a flying tackle. Inboard mark all on his own in the forward line is for Blackburn is Bartlett, who the quick kick out of the pack just was a centering ball.
I think it might be that number 65. Day?
No, it's Bartlett, 60.
60.
So it's Bartlett from 35 metres out, straight in front.
Tell you what, this is going to hurt Balwyn if he puts this one through, even at this early stage.
It's a 4-goal lead early in the second term. Bartlett from straight in front. He puts it over the goal umpire's hat. Goal number 6 on the Eastland scoreboard for Blackburn. They are 6-2, 38. Leading by 5 goals. Balwyn 1-2-8.
Most players, Balwyn players, are at the wrong side of the contest at a stoppage. And then when the ball's coming out, they're already 10 yards behind Blackburn, who are creating the space, and that's allowing all their forwards to rush forward and get that easy handball or that easy kick.
And to be able to give them that much space to take a chest mark in the forward 50 and the contest on the other side of the ground, that was poor marking by the Balwyn defence then.
Ominous signs for the Balwyn Footy Club early in the second term on the Eastland scoreboard. It's a 5-goal margin back in the middle, and the tap once again won by Howe for the Birders, and they can work it forward through the clearance. A high ball is sent forward by Vazari for Blackburn between half forward and centre wing. Bartlett was worked out of the contest. Quick kick towards centre wing for the Tigers is chopped off, and Max Otten, the Rock of Gibraltar, takes the mark. True centre wing position on the western side.
He certainly has been very good for them down back.
Otten with the left foot looks towards it, left half forward. It's in a confined space right on the boundary line, and chipping in is Chris Pendlebury, the general again for the Tigers, to take the relieving mark. Pendlebury, of course, brother of Scott Pendlebury of Collingwood. High ball, again chopped off by his opposing number 9 in Otten, and it's a 25-metre penalty to boot against Taylor.
Yeah, that was just silly. You can't stand behind the player and then expect to be able to tackle him when they haven't even called play on.
Otten wastes no time. It's deep inside 50 here for the Blackburn side. It's at the top of the goal square. Bartlett tries to dive on top of the football. The Tigers' defence are under siege. O'Regan hacks it out, and the Balwyn side eventually do work it out through methodical play. Manuel looks towards O'Regan on centre wing. He was chopped off. Goebbels trying to find space, almost threw that out, tapped it out of play. The Blackburn players appealing for a free, nothing doing. We'll have a throw in. True centre wing, outer side here at Balwyn Park.
Almost think Rodney Eade might have to throw Jeff Goebbels into the back line to try and generate some inside 50s here, because Goebbels will run and carry the ball, but because they're getting nothing so far.
So it's forward of the centre wing for Blackburn. They're doing all the attacking in this second term. Howe comes in for the tackle on his opposite ruckman in Monkhorst, and it'll be a ball up 60 metres out from Blackburn's goal as they go to the northern end. A smothered tap out. Eventually Monkhorst has a second go at it, knocks it to ground level again. Blackburn have got the numbers, but the ball spills forward. Manuel picks it up, had to share the ball initially, and then he gets onto his right boot, loads up a long kick. Goebbels wrestles, and that's why he didn't get into the marking contest. So ground level ball, Parker gets it out of defence. He was rushed when he decided to kick, and it spilled off the boot and went right out to the wing and out of bounds.
It's interesting at the moment. They've got O'Regan on Otten, and that's a complete mismatch. And O'Regan's going to the contest. Otten's pushing back off the contest, and you can see he's playing like a loose man in defence here. He can just be the general. O'Regan's got to be more accountable.
Murphy's getting a heavy tag, or is doing the tag. I'm not sure who's tackling who, but it's Balwyn with the ball. Handed off to Smart. Smart close to the boundary line, can't keep it in, and it'll be another boundary throw in.
When Otten was out early last year with injury, Blackburn's structure in the back line was found wanting. When he came back, Blackburn's fortunes from that moment on and halfway through the season, that really came into play, and it was especially in the finals. And he's showing why today.
Well, Monkhurst dragged his player out of the contest. The umpires picked out a free kick against him, so it'll go the way of Blackburn here between half-back and centre wing.
Very theatrical by Hal.
So Hal, the recipient, looks into the corridor. Good inboard ball laterally. Finds the intended target in Liam Murphy. He chips the pass. Blackburn trying to slow down the tempo, and the mark's taken by Sochio, who wheels onto that prestigious right foot. Kicks into the pocket. Chance now for the Tigers at the back. Baffy can dribble it through for a behind. Only a minor score. So Blackburn move on to 6-3-39. Forward 1-2-8. 7 minutes gone. Second term on the Eastland scoreboard.
And with that, we see Otten's gone off the ground for a bit of a spell. I think O'Regan has too, so they change up their back half again.
That wasn't touched, but is that a rule still? If it doesn't get touched, it's out of bounds on the full?
No, if they play on, if they play on from the back and kick it, it's just normal.
Yeah, because there's no tap in, you're not sure what's happening. But it went over Sharman's head. He set himself at half back, went over his head and out of bounds. So it'll be a ball in, 65 metres out from Blackburn's goal. They're doing all the attacking and the scoring in this second term. They've added to their 4-goal lead. Now the quick ball hurries towards Conker. He has to hand pass quickly, and Balwyn under a heap of pressure. Just a long ball out. Freeman's underneath it, but his his opponent is better suited, and it's picked off by Parker. Parker just paddles it in front of himself. Felt the heat on his backside, and is happy to see the boundary line.
Another guy that hasn't had many touches but has really done a good job so far is Julian Sochio on Sean Cross in the midfield. Cross has had no influence and having had 1 or 2 kicks out of that centre clearance.
It's basically just hacked it forward out of the scrimmage, hasn't he, Sean Cross? Back in motion once again. Monkhurst won the tap for the Tigers. 65 out from their goal. Fagan tries to effect the tackle. Eventually the loose ball spills out to Manuel, and now the Tigers can work it forward on the fat side of the ground. Kicked by Weatherall, looking for Goebbels. He's against 2. The front man was Faulkner. Did well to tap it to his teammate at Liam Murphy, who just got his kick away into the pocket. Going back with the flight. That's a brilliant mark if it's been paid. No. The umpire has crossed his arms
and says it might be a ball up.
Yes, Hammond was going back with the flight, and it's been paid a ball up. Almost Lee Colbert-esque 1997 semi-final.
I think it might have bounced off his defender's chest into his chest.
Quick kick out of the pack. That's a goal for the Burners. They continue on their merry way, and it looks as if it was Jake Harkins hacking out of the pack, and Blackburn continue on. They're 7-3-45, leading Balwyn 1-2-8 on the Eastland scoreboard.
So from the jump ball, it
looks like Harkins. We'll give it to Harkins.
Yeah, it was. Got leaps and tackled him, but wasn't able to just dispossess him. And that was a very, very good crumbing goal, that one.
But they're making goals out of the contest. Their hands, when it falls away from the tackles or from the ruck contest, is brilliant. That's where they're killing them, aren't they, Blackburn?
And they're just willing to run. They're willing to run all over the ground and be front of the contest every single time.
And I think Howe is exposing Moncourt's aerobic capabilities around the contest.
New ruck against him. Howe just, he's 200 centimetres, says tap it to his own teammate. They burst forward again, Blackburn, but the kick was ill-directed. Back of the pack, Gray hands it over to his teammate Lawler. Lawler's got an open play. He's got Conker 30 out. He rushed it. And he misses from 20. He put himself under more pressure than that really was. And from the top of the goal square, he misses to the right. Minor score. We'll just get the Eastland scoreboard before we go boundary side. It's 7-4-46. Blackburn leading Balwyn 1-2-8. Let's go to boundary riders for car sales.
Guys, Blackburn's Lachlan Howe. He's an absolute monster, and he's really starting to get on top of the stoppages. You saw him in the middle there, just with the hit up to advantage, and he set up that goal before. Really starting to do some damage for Blackburn.
They're just not getting any of the footy, are they, Balwyn? They're just not being able to control or keep the game at their pace at all.
Pendlebury looked for Goebbels on centre wing, but the Burners, with weighted numbers, try and force it forward. Taylor Gilchrist was taken down in a great crunching tackle. Cross gets the hand passed away, saving grace there for the Tigers. Manuel gets it through the corridor, sends the hand pass forward. The kick was well smothered there. It ricocheted back from Bazzari, and as a consequence, the Burners can work it forward. Bazzari was held off the ball, and he'll receive the free kick between half-back and centre wing.
Effectively saved a goal and won himself a free kick.
So Dylan Bazzari has been more prominent in this second term. Chips it towards the true centre wing position on the western side, hard up against the boundary line. A good mark taken by Xavier Murphy, who sends a probing ball towards centre half forward. Hammond flew high, couldn't take the mark. Loose ball falls out the back. The Tigers have the numbers, but chasing after it is Day. Twisting, turning, propping, gets the hand pass away. That was brilliant off to Bartlett, and Bartlett can finish off the good work. A sensational goal, his third on the board. And Blackburn, they are just absolutely pummeling the Tigers. 8-4-52 the Burners to Balwyn 1-2-8. 12 minutes gone, second term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Just so clean with the footy at the moment, Blackburn, and that's the difference. They're clean, they're running to position, they're creating space all over the ground. You can see Balwyn, they got the ball a moment ago and they literally panicked when they had the football. They didn't know what they were going to do. It was a turnover from Urban and then away they went. So look, they've just got to try and control the game a little bit by getting their hands on it. But as we said, how dominating the ruck means that Blackburn are getting first use of it nearly every single time.
And Davo, the confidence that now the tackling has created is that Day took his time, sold some candy, got it off to Bartlett.
He did. Look, it was a great bit of play, and he sold it to two players too, so two of them missed him.
Back in the middle, Balwyn need the next score. They just need to change the momentum at least. And they nullify the ruck contest and win themselves a free kick. And it's the smaller ruckman getting the ball in Anderson. He loads off a hand pass, so the long ball to half forward. Big run, ruck contest, and Blackburn are happiest defenders with numbers back, and they'll concede the boundary throw in at half back.
So even then, they've got a free kick, and he's given the handball to O'Regan, who is basically next to the bloke who's on the ground, the other player, so it's just silly.
There's a fence line incident. We'll go boundary side for car sales.
Oh, look, it's not looking for the Blackburn. He just went straight into the fence there, but he seems to be up, but it didn't look good there for a second. I think he's coming off. That was some serious stuff there, but I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah, Liam Murphy's got a bit of the fence indented in his face, I think.
Yeah, aside from the zinc cream, he's got that as well.
Yes.
Seen that on many occasions in the past. That's obviously it's just severe misfortune there, but hopefully he should be okay once he receives treatment. Seems to be on his feet, Liam Murphy.
Ran it off.
So we'll resume play once again inside the forward 40 here for Balwyn. They desperately need a goal. They trail by 44 on the Eastland scoreboard. Tap one by Manuel. That's a poor kick. Under pressure. It's gone out of bounds on the full. That came from Thomas Wilson. And Blackburn can receive the relieving free kick through Anthony Fagan, who's the recipient. Deep inside the defensive 40 for Blackburn. Fagan looks towards centre wing. Hammond flew high. It'll be a free kick and or mark paid to Balwyn. As a consequence, they're away through Reddy Gilchrist. Long kick to the top of the square. One-on-one contest looking for the intended target in Martin. He may have been held. Umpire said play on, and it's bounced into the behind post. So we'll have a throw in deep in the forward pocket for the Tigers.
Got the nice short pass, and then that was just a lazy kick, wasn't it? That was a hope kick instead of anything really being on.
Reaching the halfway mark of this second term, Blackburn by 44 points. The Tigers, it's an underestimation to say they desperately need a goal. O'Regan, claimed by Fagan, still deep inside the 450 for the Tigers, but they can't break through a wall. The clearing kick for the Burners was touched off the boot from Xavier Murphy. The umpire, however, has called out on the full, so it'll be a Balwyn free kick.
I don't think so. That was definitely touched off the boot there.
Well, the umpire is sticking to their guns, so Rennie Gilchrist will be the recipient, and he can have a shot from a very acute angle on the boundary line, 40 out.
Is he a lefty? I think he is.
You can kick both feet, Rennie, but
well,
the skipper needs to kick a goal there. He needs to try and inspire something because they're really struggling at the moment here.
He is the perennial player if you want a spark as far as the Tigers are concerned. From inside the boundary, well, he's kicked it out on the full, off the side of the boot, and that just about sums up the Tigers' day thus far. So that's gone out on the full, no change to the score. Blackburn lead it by 44.
Some might say there's some poetic justice in that one there, Damo.
Yep.
Oh, Xavier Murphy put Fagan under pressure. It's going to rebound, and it's Haley from 40. Kicks around the corner when he could have straightened the body, and he's kicked it to the other pocket where it's marked by Blackburn. Elia is down the line, but he couldn't take the mark. Goebbels gets involved, but he's tackled as soon as he grabs it. Elia picks it up again, but he's tackled and dispossessed, and it's a ground ball, heaps of pressure. It's picked up by Murphy. Xavier Murphy's quick kick out falls to Lawler off the marking contest. His long kick, but it's Taylor Gilchrist picking it up first, but he's tackled and run down. He's hand pass to Richards. He doesn't want to take possession. He knocks it out, even though he had a metre on his opponent. That's what pressure does.
There's the difference right there. That tackle tackle, that run-down tackle, there's the commitment.
But not only that, it was a commitment at the contest. Lots of fumbles, lots of tackles. It was a Blackburn player who was able to clear it. They've just been more desperate at the contest.
So a ball in 50 up from the Blackburn goal. Once again, the tap one by Howe, and the Burners move it down towards goal. Oh, it's party time for the Blackburn footy
Danaher,
club.
I think that was.
Ben Danaher kicks the goal, running out of the pack from 40 metres out on the run, and Blackburn move on to 9-4-58, ball of 1-2-8. It's a rout in this second term on the Eastland scoreboard. Let's head to our car sales boundary riders.
Well, Blackburn can do no wrong. Everything is just going their way at the moment, and they are just firing down here.
Yeah, that's the classic bit of play. That tap over the back, run on to the left foot, into the left foot arc and nail it. And you come back here and you got Haley tries to kick a banana, kicks the wrong side. It's not working.
Blackburn win the centre clearance. It's now gone onto a wing where the skipper Fagan loads up a long ball, leading option for Blackburn. Punch comes in, but it's again Blackburn first to it. Aaron hand pass in board, means it's picked up by Sanfilippo. A lot of pressure. Forward hand pass goes to Manuel. He gets it out wide. Now Balwyn, can they have the bounce? The ball doesn't even suit. So the two chasers get on the ball for Blackburn, and Dorian has time to just short pass off one step, and he gets it to Conker, who slows it down.
Yeah, but they're making their own luck here, Blackburn too.
But you know your day's not working when you're one out in that situation, just bounces straight over your head.
The ball's gone inside 50. Balwyn hold up quite nicely this time, but the long pit, I see red, I see black, but I don't see black and yellow on the ball, and it's marked by Dorian, who quickly gets on the hand pass to Elia, who loads up a long ball. No one in particular goes to the pocket. It might beat the defence. It doesn't. It's kept in. Hand pass to Moncourse under a heap of pressure. The big man's taken down, but the boundary line saves him before the umpire says you're gone.
Good tackle,
and it was Bartlett tackled him.
They're playing like men possessed here, Blackburn.
Well,
They are not prepared to give anything up here.
Conker's being knocked off the ball.
And it's a card.
It is a card.
That is bad discipline there.
I think it's Fraser who's on the man on the mark. Is it just a turnover? I almost thought he was reaching for the pocket.
Well, he was knocked off the ball, basically, as the umpire was retrieving it for the throw-in. And it looks as if it is against Liam Fraser, you're correct.
So it's Richards who takes the mark on the last line with all the quick play on by Blackburn. And he's been solid in defence, if not rushed. His kick goes to Goebbels. That's a long way away from goals for Goebbels to be, and he doesn't take the mark. He has been worn like a glove, and he's not getting much of a touch.
But not only that, apart from that mark, we've rarely seen a Balwyn mark overhead. They've just not been able to get into the right space, get separation from their defenders. It's been just a clinical display by Blackburn.
So it's a boundary throw in, still 50 metres out from Blackburn goals. Ground level ball, they do the roving Conker. He was standing there and he just jumps at the ball, just couldn't grasp it into the second attempt, but he's taking on 4 Tigers and they just beat him to the ball. Their hand pass forward goes out to the Burners and they'll load up again with Fagan. Spears in a ball. Goal square it is, but the punch from Pendlebury was good. He's under a heap of pressure, has Richards to help him out, but where does Richards go? He just puts it to half forward, where again it's Blackburn. It's Vazari. He's got a short on and they hit the target to Blackburn. They'll have a shot at goal from 40 and their lead will be extended at the 20-minute mark of the second term.
If you do have a look at that last bit of play from the contest, Manuel was probably 3 metres off his player. That just says it all. They're just not giving their players enough respect in close and closing the game down, allowing too many Blackburn handballs out of the contest.
Lawler was just standing man on the spot when the turnover came to him. The pass was good. He puts it right post and even further it goes wider and it's a miss. A little bit of a let off for Balwyn under a heap of pressure. Eastland scoreboard. Blackburn 9-5, 59 in time on, leading Balwyn 1-8. It's a 51-point margin.
Let's head to our car sales boundary riders.
Guys, Dylan Vazari just set that shot up, and even though it wasn't a goal, he's working really hard. He's the centre of this zone that Balwyn aren't able to penetrate. He's covering a lot of ground, working from the left to the right-hand side of the ground, and he's been immense across our back.
Well, Hammond kicked it inside 50, intercepted the kick in from Balwyn, and it's a marked just inside the line. Now, the umpires are conferring here because it was a double grabber, and there's an appeal from Weatherald as to whether he touched it over the line. The mark has been paid.
Yep.
So it's just been determined, and it looks as if Bartlett will have a shot
Geez, he's been dangerous in this first half. I think he's coming up for his 4th goal.
Hard up against the line, shoots towards goal from a bit acute angle, and he's nailed it. They can do no wrong, the Blackburn Football Club. They move on to 10-5-65, can you believe it, to Balwyn 1-2-8. It's goal number 4, 21 minutes gone in the second term on the Eastland scoreboard.
And at the start we said we didn't know where Blackburn's small forwards were going to come from to kick their goals. Well, there's one of them. That's been sensational work. Great mark, great go back and slot that goal. And there's a bit of damage control at the moment from Balwyn. They really need to make sure they've got to score before they go into half-time. They cannot afford to go in at 1 goal, and they must kick one late if they can, but they might run out of time.
Matthew Day scoring the goal there for the Burners.
He's a little bit taller than Bartlett, so
it was Day, was it?
Yeah, so they look similar, but just the height there of Day on the boundary line, but both are having a bigger impact as the game goes on. Now, I think Balwyn have noticed that they've been losing the stoppages. They just try to get some grunt in there. Gilchrist takes on the tacklers, so we have a secondary ball up in the centre of Balwyn Park, and another go at it, and Balwyn hoping to keep it in tight.
Gav, they're going to try and generate some run off their half-back line board.
Well, this is getting through our forward nice and easily. Might bypass them too many times. The quick hit out by Moncourse was just a long punch, hoping to get into open space where his teammates were. The umpires come off worse for wear in the middle, so the second non-officiating umpire had to run to the contest and ball it up at half forward for Balwyn. He looks back at his umpire and says, "You're all right, teammate?" And he brushes it off. But it's Blackburn getting the ball again. Quick kick forward by the player in Murphy, and now it's a half forward. Balwyn under a heap of pressure. They're just trying to share and get it forward. Now long kick from half back goes towards Freeman. In a one-on-one contest, he was ahead of his opponent. Then he lost position, and Blackburn knock it over the boundary line.
But again, that's a poor kick, wasn't it? It was a kick to nobody. It didn't make the distance, so it doesn't help with the forwards when the ball that's coming in is coming in so poorly at the moment for Balwyn.
57 points the margin on the Eastland scoreboard. Balwyn being dry as the Sahara in front of goals in this second term. Monkhurst won the tap. Hopefully they can work it forward for their sake to get some life back into this contest as we have a secondary bounce from the stoppage between half forward and centre wing for the Tigers.
Probably as dry as the Gobi Desert too, Damo.
Goebels Desert.
It sounds like a desert around him, doesn't it, at the moment? Breaking clear is Harkins with the hand pass, and Balwyn move it through the corridor. The kick towards half forward. Hammond leading in the race for the ball. It's tapped out the back for Pendlebury, and the Tigers can methodically work it forward here. It's not a very good kick across the face, looking for O'Regan, a 2-on-1. O'Regan managed to effect the tackle and stifle the play, and we'll have a bounce 55 out for the Burners goal.
That actually was a kick in hope, because he just kicked it hoping that something was going to happen there.
There's a bit of madness in their method at the moment, if you're talking about good morphology.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 1377 SEN Plus or streaming live on efl.org.au. The Tigers work it out of defence. Flying high for the mark. Almost taken there from Haley. O'Regan gets the hand pass in the direction of that player. It's in the centre of the ground. Smart overran the ball. Alia Goebbels gets the hand pass out on hands and knees. There's still a chance the Tigers cross. 55 out. Off a step. Looks towards full forward. And the mark has been taken on the last line by Chevy Anderson. And he can go back and have a shot, but he's on a very acute angle close to goal.
Chevy, you better get that motor running, son, and kick a goal.
Well, Chevy Anderson.
Or he'll be National Lampoons.
Oh, yeah.
Chevy Chase.
Runs round on the right foot and hits the post. So he's hit the woodwork, and again, another symbolic gesture of the day so far. It's Balwyn 139 trailing Blackburn 10-5-65 on the cusp of half-time on the Eastland scoreboard.
Is that their first score for the quarter?
They've scored 2 points.
2 points, have they?
So Otten has been called to play on, and he just loads up a long ball to the outer wing where Richards sets himself, takes the mark. In a contest, he's got a short on because just the zone evaporated from the kick out, and the short hits the teammate in Freeman, who's presenting well, and this is in distance because the line is 40 and the man on mark is 45, kicking the dirt as he mans the mark.
Yes,
he's Gray.
He needs to kick this goal, Freeman. Take responsibility.
They've only got one on the board, and it goes to this man Freeman. Can he double the goal tally in one kick? At the 26-minute mark of the second term, Balwyn at home.
Good kick.
Long kick. Goes to the line and goes through. Big moment for Balwyn. Their second goal from Freeman, and they move on to 2 goals at 3-15. They trail by 50 points on the Eastland scoreboard. Blackburn at 10-5-65. It's almost like a consolation goal just before half time.
It is, but they either need to kick another or hold it up and not allow Blackburn to score. They've got to go in with some sort of small momentum, Balwyn, because that'll just lift them. They get Blackburn kick another goal, then everything disappears.
James Freeman, the sole goal scorer for Balwyn so far in this game. Puts their second on the board, and it's back in the middle once again. Danaher trying to shuffle out of the pack. He's gang tackled. We'll have another bounce, a secondary bounce in the middle.
You just feel the frenetic pace. Just Blackburn were ready to go from that quarter.
So tap one again by Bonkhurst, and cross works it for the Tigers. Still, the Blackburn numbers holding sway across half-back. Bazari's hand pass eventually comes out to his teammate in Sochio, and they work it through Fagan along the outer wing on the eastern side towards right half forward. Balwyn have the numbers in defence. The tap was indiscriminate from Xavier Richards. It could cost them a goal. Chance for Blackburn deep inside. Chance for Bartlett. And has he stuck it home? He certainly has. It's a goal. There was a lot of attentiveness there from the goal umpire. It's gone through. So Blackburn 11-5-71. Lead Balwyn 2-3-15. 27 and a half gone second term on the Eastland scoreboard. That's his fourth.
Finally.
That's a momentum killer there, isn't it?
It is, and that was a really poor decision from Richards. Why he would punch the ball running into his own goal, punch it back into place, I have no idea. An experienced player like himself should not have made a basic error like that.
It might be a big call, but they're shocked at the moment, Balwyn. Let's go boundary side to car sales.
Guys, you heard the crowd there over the FX mic. Blackburn have really taken the Balwyn home crowd completely out of this, and there's a pretty big turnout from the Blackburn faithful, so it almost feels as if it's a Blackburn home game down here.
Yeah, they always travel, Blackburn. Great club in that regard. Dorian take the mark, but it wasn't paid because only a 5-metre kick. Blackburn, they're good on the burst, and it's a mark on the wing. First to it was Bartlett, who kicked 4 goals. He's moving up and down the ground. Short pass hits the target. Another short pass finds the teammate in Lawler. Oh no, sorry, Danaher. Danaher is looking at options. He's got plenty of them. He just goes long and hopeful though. Balwyn gets numbers back, but ground level ball. Of course it's Blackburn, and it's Conker at the front of the pack, and he runs into an open goal, and he kicks his third. It is a big lead for Blackburn. They are 12-5-77, leading by 10 goals. Balwyn 2-3-15, 29 minutes gone, second term Eastland scoreboard.
The big theme in so far this season is numbers at the contest and ferocity at the ball. We've seen that in the opening weeks of EFL football, and if you've got no leg speed, you're being exposed every Saturday afternoon now.
Not only that, when Rodney Eade looks at that film of that, he will see that Conker was by himself at the back of the contest and was allowed to run around without any pressure at all. Defensively, not good enough from Balwyn.
In the shadows of half-time, it's Blackburn taking advantage of the sunlight. It's been an embarrassment for Balwyn so far. 62 points the margin. As we resume again, Anderson in the ruck in place of Bonkhurst won it down, affected the tackle. We'll have a secondary bounce in the middle.
It's funny, Dave, you said that they needed to kick another goal and not let Blackburn kick one, but they've kicked 2.
Anderson again contesting against his opponent in Howe. Again, it's the Burners winning the clearance. A high ball from Xavier Murphy. It went nowhere in the end. It was intercepted by Taylor Gilchrist, who can provide some respite for the Tigers.
Where's his pass?
Centre half back, Gilchrist looks towards left half forward. Being held in the contest was Manuel, and it wasn't noticed by the umpire. A Blackburn mark will be paid, and the recipient there looks as if it's Max Otten, who's been brilliant. Otten looks towards centre wing. One-on-one contest. Spoil affected there by Weatherall for the Tigers. Still the ball in dispute and seen over the line, true to centre wing by Sochio on the eastern side.
And he was just allowed to sag off then, Otten. He just saw that there was kicking to no one, and he just went and sagged straight off. They're just not accountable, Balwyn, at the moment. That's one of the biggest disappointments.
Ball in once again. Great crowd attending this Good Friday clash. Been disappointed so far with Balwyn's effort, but Blackburn have been absolutely instrumental. Conker caught behind on that occasion with the kick towards centre half forward, and Balwyn can repel off the half back line. They work it through the corridor. A high ball towards Goebbels at centre half forward. Can he hold the mark? Yes, he can. Finally finds some space, and he can look to capitalise from 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
We knew he wasn't going to turn around and kick it, but you know what? He did need to have a look, because the ruckman was standing by himself in the goal square for 3.5 minutes. So he needs to really make sure of this one.
Jeff Goebbels with the orange boost, of course, played for West Perth in the WAFL. Came to Balwyn many years ago now and starred during their golden era. Can he ignite the Balwyn side? 40 metres out, almost directly in front, right on the paint. The crowd tells the story. There's no roar from the home crowd, only a minor score. So Balwyn 2-4-16, trail Blackburn 12-5-77, 32 gone, second term Eastland scoreboard.
It's been an 8-goal quarter. That's why we're ticking towards 32 minutes in this second term. Fagan roves the outlining kick to half back. He didn't claim the ball in possession, so when the tackle came, it was holding the man, and Fagan will pick up the free kick. He's got Otten inboard for a short, ignores that option, and he probably senses we're in the last minute of this half. Play down the line to the wing. He's got Hammond who can go the leap. He nearly falls with the ball, but at ground level it's Balwyn. Have they got one more goal in them? Gilchrist loads up a long ball to half forward. Goebbels late, doesn't get there because Otten just stands in his way and takes the big mark over his head, and he's got time to have a go at his other opponent as he picks himself, or he picks the ball up, because he didn't leave the ground and they couldn't get near his arms there.
Max Otten's got the game on his terms at the moment, just no doubt about it.
So Otten left boot long to the wing. Hammond's been pushed around, so it's the mark goes to his Pendlebury. Pendlebury goes inboard, short pass does find Urban. Urban's looking to play on quickly. Has to go backwards to Gilchrist, or Richards.
They've lost 15 metres.
And there is the half-time siren. This is a shocking scoreline for the home side. At Balwyn Park, Balwyn 2-4-16, but it's Blackburn 12-5-77, leading by 61 points at half-time.
An absolute rout at the Good Friday clash so far. Can Balwyn respond? We'll find out later in the broadcast. Major goal scorers so far. Manny Bartlett has kicked 4 for the Burners. Ryan Bathy with 2 in the first term. Luke Conker has 3 to his name with singles to Matty Day and Jake Harkins. Meanwhile, James Freeman has scored the only 2 goals on the Balwyn register. It's half-time, and we'll be back with the half-time wrap here on EFL Game Day.
Breakfast with Gary and
Clear, 4 minutes.
Buses are currently replacing trains along the Sandringham line until April 22nd. For more information and to find your Plan B, visit bigbuild.vic.gov.au.
Buses are currently replacing trains along the Sandringham line until Monday, April 22nd. For more information and to find your Plan B, visit bigbuild.vic.gov.au. In Ringwood on the Maroondah Highway at Wanturna Road, heading citybound, we've got some oil across the lanes there, 2 left lanes restricted. Get started in an award-winning Yo-Yo Terrace home in Aurora Waller from just $369K. That's outstanding value for fresh designs. Visit yoyoliving.com.au. That's the latest traffic on 1377 SEN+.
Football Nation, Adelaide versus Victory. Tonight from 7, 1377 SEN+.
Realestate.com.au is the place to find the right home, and it's also the place to find the right home loan. It just makes sense. Realestate.com.au home loans.
Hello, is there anyone there?
Stars versus Rebels. Tomorrow.
Hello there.
Ready? BP Ultimate cleans your engine while you drive. Fill up at your local BP before your Easter road trip for a...
Hello.
Catch up on all your favourite show podcasts. Download today.
It's Tyre Power's massive Easter sale with more great deals.
Yes, there you go. How are you?
Good, I'm not
Look
on the
at
air,
the power of our...
Oh, no. Now, did you want a Clint Stanaway report or something?
Yeah, I believe we have him straight off the top of the half-time.
So out of this break, you want him?
Yeah.
Hang on a second, we're just confirming it, Nigel.
Okay.
Massive Easter sale is now on. Visit tyrepower.com.au
Said 20 past 3, so yeah, we'll get him up.
for your local owner operator.
Well, I'll give him a call. I'll have to, you know how that works in here. Unfortunately, I can't talk to him down the line, so I'll have to ring him from a mobile and then get him to just answer the phone.
Okay.
All righty, so
good,
I'll give him a quick call.
Cheers.
Thanks, Nigel.
Stadium.
The Kangaroos at the front with 20 seconds left.
Sign up in April and receive an exclusive 2019 Toyota AFL Grand Final hospitality experience to enjoy the big day in style. With membership starting at $596 per month. Search Medallion Club today.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Wow, there's some great timber colours here.
Yeah, that's right.
There's reds, browns. I think I want a bit of character. Oh, wow, look at all these choices. Oh, there's tulips.
Let's go for the tulips then. They just look gorgeous.
Tobin Brothers Funerals' latest Memory Maker app now gives you more choice than ever before. Select from a wide range of coffins, caskets and floral arrangements, view them in 360 degrees and compare selections and prices. Find out.
Can you tell me when he's up? Just speak to me down
Yeah,
the
he's
line.
not answering his phone. It went to voicemail a second ago.
Head to Eastland. Our cinemas and restaurants are open Good Friday.
Nigel, was that his landline or his mobile?
Stock up for a feast on Easter Saturday. Fresh food opens 8 a.m. and everything else is open 9 to 5. We're also open Easter Sunday and Monday from 10 to 5, so you can get all you need for a happy, hoppy long
Nigel,
weekend.
was that his
Visit
landline number or his
eastland.com.au for
mobile?
our opening times and much more. Eastland.
I think his mobile now.
Gary Lyon and Tim Watson.
Cyril and Eddie, who would you take? I'd take Cyril based on this. Okay, in big games, Eddie hasn't really fought. Now this is tough.
Oh, that's a brush with you.
It is. But I think if you went back and had a look at the records in the big games, I think you'd find that stands true.
For Melbourne Airport long-term car park, $99 for 7 days. And Vaughan Constructions, Victorian Master Builder of the Year. Back Monday morning from 6.
Hi, it's Tim Watson. The all-new SEN app is here. Update now or download today.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
No good, guys. No good. He's not answering. So I'm putting you on now, by the way.
Welcome back. Half-time here on EFL Game Day. The Good Friday clash between the two Premier Division heavyweights, Blackburn and Balwyn. And so far it has been a one-sided rout. The Burners 12-5-77, leading Balwyn 2-4-16 at the major break, a 51-point margin. It's all been one-way traffic. Just recapping the major goal scorers, 4 to the name of Matthew Bartlett, who's been superb, particularly in that second term. Luke Conqueror's 3 majors to his name, 2 to Ryan Bathy, all of the first term, and singles to Matty Day and Jake Harkins. Meanwhile, James Freeman is the only goal scorer for Balwyn with 2, and that makes up the register for the Tigers. Davis Harrigan and Wayne Brasher join me to analyse the first half, and when it comes to an analysis, I think the title would have to be it's all one way for the Burners.
100%, and obviously being out there with the camera roving around, there really is, I can really see just how much Blackburn is shutting down the game for Balwyn as well. Not only are they scoring reasonably well and getting it to flow, they're cutting everything off for Balwyn forward of the centre, and with that, they're much better in their ball control, much more relaxed, much more being able to find the targets. And if Balwyn even have the ball, they are hesitant as well. They aren't finding their targets, and it's an instant turnover. So yeah, I think 61 points on the scoreboard is absolutely justified. And I think Blackburn, what they've been doing as well, once they've been driving it forward, is they're looking for targets, they're looking up the ground, and they've been very, very good in the contests, either bringing it down or being able to tap it out to someone the likes of the Murphys, Anthony Fagan, Soch, Nick Gray. They're all around there to be able to deliver, and I'm really impressed by some of the new batch that are coming through. Crash?
I think what Balwyn will probably be shell-shocked with is Blackburn's ball movement right across all facets of the ground. In fact, when you look at the amount of contests that Balwyn are going for, there's always 2 and 3 Blackburn players around that contest, and they're probably winning 90% of those clearances or around them contests. I think Balwyn's lack of leg speed has been exposed, and I think the big issue with them is structurally. I think Rodney Eade might have to go back to the drawing board at half time and see if he can find some players that can generate some run off the half-back line for him.
And you mentioned the contest as well. Ben Danaher and Lucky Howell have been outstanding in the ruck for Blackburn, especially through the centre. So you're right, they are being hurt all across the ground, and if they're out of defence, they're trying to bomb it long. There's a lot of desperation football from Balwyn, and Blackburn can see that. Blackburn love pouncing on these opportunities, and I think they're going to capitalise on it even further if Balwyn don't get a wake-up call.
I think too, Damien, Max Otten, he's the one that's playing the game on his own terms at the moment across that half-back line. But also too, look, we were just touched on the ruck with Howell and Munkhorst. Munkhorst is really solid around the contest and around the stoppages.
I don't think he's been that bad.
He hasn't been that bad, but Howell's exposed his leg speed because Howell, and the thing is with Howell, if you look at the way that he's very athletic, but he's also got very good hands to eye coordination because he's managed to lift the ball up and over and through little gaps and get those little dinky handballs out to advantage for his on ballers. But you look at where the small men forward of Blackburn, Hammond and Bathy, took control of the first quarter with their height, but then all of a sudden the midfield and the half forwards and the forward pockets for Blackburn, they started to get in the game when Balwyn decided that they had to try and shut them down, and they were always at their feet, and that's where Balwyn are really, really struggling because they're getting caught on the turnover and they just don't have the leg speed to get back.
61 points the deficit at half time. Do you give Balwyn any chance of coming back, Rash?
I don't think they can. I'm not seeing enough.
This is going, it's a very similar outcome to how Blackburn took Montrose out in round one, except the half-time scoreline there was more about 5 goals rather than 10. So no, I do see Blackburn holding on to this. It's now just a question of A, by how much, and B, how much motivation can Blackburn coach Brendan Allen put into his boys. I see him putting in a lot. He's very tactically sound. You picked up the shutdown, and there on another point, Rash, you picked up the shutdown and all the Blackburn players being around the feet. The likes of Goebbels, Chris Pendlebury, Rennie Gilchrist, they're all around the ball, but they're just not getting, as you said, they're just not getting enough of it either. Blackburn are just way too quick, and Jackson Weatherald is being very well shut down as well. He's been an absolute key to shut down. What I like as well about Blackburn is they've had about half a dozen different goal scorers for 12, so shows that they do have a lot of forward delivery. They've been very, very good at driving it through off the inside 40 arc, if from a contest, and just getting it through. And I think Balwyn have been caught very flat-footed and very surprised. So I knew Blackburn were going to come out this one. I'm not going to hide it, but I didn't know they were going to do it. I didn't know they were going to do it like this.
No, I don't think we expected the magnitude of this one-sided encounter so far up to half-time. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast, incidentally, on SEN Plus 1377 or live streaming around the globe, efl.org.au. I know there are a lot of interested participants in the Eastern Football League, not just following these two sides, but right across the competition. And we see on the ground at the moment Harmeet Singh, the coach of the Vermont Football Club. What does this performance mean, Brash, in the context of the competition, in terms of how Blackburn are held as credible premiership contenders? What does this first half performance mean to the rest of the Premier Division?
Well, I think it might be a bit of a wake-up call for some of these clubs. I mean, let's not forget that Blackburn have played in the last 2 final series and really have only been 1 kick and 2 kicks respectively off playing off in a grand final.
And went to extra time on last year's as well, so even closer than that.
So, look, if I were, I can understand there would be some EFL coaches, Premier coaches down here today having a look. And I tell you what, they'll walk away tonight feeling, they've got something to think about. They have something to think about now with the way Blackburn are playing.
And I'm putting up a player to watch from Blackburn this year, Mackenzie Dorian. He has been absolutely fabulous. A couple of massive contests on the grandstand call side of the Balwyn Park today, where he has gone in utterly fearless to either take the ball or bring the ball to ground. He is a young man, but I am seeing him develop through Blackburn to be a very well-bodied player, and I think he will really be one to step up should anything happen to Blackburn during the season.
Time to take a break. This is the halftime wrap on EFL Game Day. Blackburn 12-5-77 leading Balwyn 2-4-16 by 61 points. Can you believe that, at the major break of our feature Good Friday clash in the Premier Division of the Great Eastern Football League competition? We'll take a break, back with the third quarter right after this on EFL Game Day.
Football Nation, Adelaide versus Victory, tonight from 7, 1377.
And you're clear.
Is the place to find the right home, and it's also the place to find the right home loan. It just makes sense. Realestate.com.au home loans. This is the place.
Buses are currently replacing trains along the Sandringham line until Monday, April 22nd. For more information and to find your Plan B, visit bigbuild.vic.gov.au. Traffic lights out due to a power failure in Balaclava Road at Hotham Road, Smash in Bonio Road at Browns Road. Spend More, Get More is on now at Freedom. Towards your... And that's the latest traffic. Then SEN Plus.
Breakfast with Gary and Tim. Weekdays from 6 on SEN.
Didn't hear that, Nigel. You want to try again?
No, I just said, is anyone there? But that's okay.
I'm here, mate.
Okay. Yeah, look, he was in makeup. He was in makeup.
Don't worry, that's fine. All good.
Yeah. He's apologised a few times to me already, so...
Cracking specials at the Bottle-O this weekend. Pick up a 10-pack of Canadian Club and Cola for just $33. Yes, just $33. Only at your local Bottle-O.
Might be him. Hang on, what's his number? Let's see.
That's all right. We're done now. So
No, it's not him. It's somebody else. I saw a number that's similar. First 4 digits were the same.
All right, you still happy with what you're getting down the pipeline?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Nigel.
No worries.
Off the bench with Hutchie.
We've got 2.5 minutes here.
How'd you feel it? You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Who can cater your corporate event or party with a taste that will keep your guests happy and chatty? Suverman can! Everybody loves a traditional souvlaki or banquet, and who can do them perfectly? Suverman can! Suverman can come to you with his lamb and chicken charcoal spit and please any crowd of any size. Vegetarian? Gluten-free? Suverman still can! So wherever you are in Melbourne, whenever you need something different and delicious, who can cater like no other man can? Suverman can! Suverman.com.au.
Do something about youth homelessness. Sleep at the G on Thursday, May 16th. This year you can bring your kids too. For T's and C's and to register, visit sleepattheg.com.au. Hosted by Melbourne City Mission and proudly supported by Melbourne Cricket Club and Melbourne Football Club.
It's Tyre Power's massive Easter sale with more great deals on big brand tyres. At Tyre Power, you'll get the power of our giant giveaway on Toyo tyres. Simply buy 3 and we'll give you 1 free on a great range of Toyo passenger car and SUV tyres. That's right, buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres at Tyre Power. Conditions apply. See website or in-store for details. Tyre Power's massive Easter sale.
What?
Local 30.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
For all the roast lamb, chocolate gifts and entertainment you need this Easter, head to Eastland. Our cinemas and restaurants are open Good Friday for quality family time. Beat the crowds and stock up for a feast on Easter Saturday. Fresh food opens 8 a.m. and everything else is open 9 to 5. We're also open Easter Sunday and Monday from 10 to 5, so you can get all you need for a happy, hoppy long weekend. Visit eastland.com.au for our opening times and much more. Eastland, live real.
Okay, guys, here we go.
1977 SEN Plus.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
And Mike's on.
Welcome back to EFL Game Day. We're ready for the second half of our Good Friday feature on SEN Plus 1377 and streaming live, of course, on EFL.org.au. Blackburn 12-5-77 lead convincingly over Balwyn 2-4-16. Brett Davidson and Wayne Brasher-Reid join me in the commentary box along with Gav Casey, and we're just about set for the start of the third term. Can Balwyn come back? That's the big question in front of this big crowd. And we're underway. Monkhurst wins the tap for the Tigers. It falls to ground level. A big scrimmage on top of the pack, and we'll have a secondary bounce in the middle.
So they've gone with the 3 bigs again, Balwyn in the back half. Milhausen, Pendlebury
and Richards, so we'll see what that happens. Thought they were better up in the tall department down back, Balwyn. They just didn't have the smalls. This is where Gottliebsen's got to really lock down on Conker, because he just gave him too much latitude.
Monkhurst again winning the tap, looking for Manuel. Instead it ends up at the arms of Cross, who swings it round his body on the right foot, looking towards right half forward. The Burners again having the numbers, trying to break clear as Vasari, who was good in the second term. He's unsuccessful on this occasion. It's holding the ball, and it's a Balwyn free kick to Kane Smart.
That's what you want to see, tackling with intent.
So Smart, newcomer from Lawn, kicks towards the forward pocket, but again, no one home. Almost an indiscriminate jump there from the Balwyn forwards, and the Burners are away again through Conker with the hand pass, and they work it through the corridor, kick towards centre wing, looking for Harkins, was caught behind on that occasion. A bit of basketball there from Taylor Gilchrist, did well to paddle it to his advantage. Hand pass to Monkhurst, hacks the kick towards half forward, and again, Smart enters the fray with a good mark on the second bite, 60 out from goal. So Kane Smart, as I mentioned, co-coached Lawn to a premiership in the Otways. Is a newcomer to the Balwyn list this year.
He must fancy himself. That's a fair roost from there.
You look at it, 55.
It's probably 55 metres out from goal, a diminutive ground, Balwyn Park. Can he make the journey? It's online. Has it got the distance? Not quite. It's touched right on the line, so only a minus score. The Tigers 2-5-17 trail Blackburn 12-5-77. Early going third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
So we know he's got a 54-metre kick.
54.5.
Otten, last line of defence. He's taken some great intercept marks today. Long ball goes to Hammond, who's got his opponent Richards on his hammer. But it's Blackburn who get a quick kick at the fall of that contest, but it's been smothered to the boundary line, and it's a centre wing boundary throw in on the outer side of Balwyn Park.
Yeah, I reckon a crowd around 1,000, 1,500 today.
Yeah, it's a good crowd. I still don't like Otten on O'Regan. I don't like that move, because Otten is just dominating by playing off him the entire time.
Rucks go out in the boundary throw and doesn't reach the contest. Monkhurst, though, still punches it forward. Manuel runs onto the ball, but he's taken down in a tackle close to the boundary line. And it'll be a boundary throw in at half forward.
Sometimes it's hard to hide players, Davo.
It is, and look at Manuel. He just looks rusty. He looks like a player that's been out of it for a year. You can tell he's got all the skills and ability, just a fraction off it today.
Yeah, he's not pushing off the tacklers. He's not sprinting away, and his kicking's been a bit off, but it's the pressure on every player for Balwyn. They haven't had too much open space today, and Blackburn are happy just to kill it for now at halfback and get it again for a boundary throw in. So it's about 50 metres out. Moncourt stands at the front of Howe. Howe now just goes to the right side, and they link arms. Big contest. Small tap by Howe at ground level, but it's Balwyn getting it through Haley. Hand pass over the top to Smart, but he can't keep himself in with the ball, and it'll be a boundary throw in now. 35 metres around from goals for Balwyn, so they're incrementally making some territory, but in possession terms, it hasn't been too fluent.
They need a goal out of this foray. They can't afford to just block it up and not score.
So both sides happy to keep it in tight until it opens up to their advantage. Moncourt's good position, takes it out of the ruck contest, quick to spin around, gets the ball towards the forward line. Freeman can't take the mark. Ground level ball where Blackburn dominate. A quick kick out is smothered, so here go Balwyn. Quick hand pass to Wilson from 40. He loads up. He just takes the step and he kicks it through the middle. Inspirational effort, and hopefully Wilson, with his first goal, the third for Balwyn, can spark something. It's Balwyn 3-5-23, trailing by 54. Blackburn 12-5-77. 4 minutes gone, third term Eastland scoreboard.
Well, they've controlled the ball for 4.5 minutes. They had to score then. There was just no option.
And I have to give credit to O'Regan. Then there was a beautiful handball in traffic then to get that back, to centre it back to Wilson with a nice goal. So now they build to another. This is the way they've got to do it. Yeah, it's hard to go bang, 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 but let's see if they can build another goal and see if they can get their way back into the game.
Tom Wilson, an 8-season veteran for the Northern Blues, gives Balwyn some glimmer of hope as Gilchrist tries to work it forward with the kick out of the clearance. He's unsuccessful, and Blackburn went up through Lawler, tries to paddle it to his advantage. Dicky little kick off the ground looking for Conker. He's got speed, he's got grace, he's got poise, but not quite the accuracy with the snap from 30, only a minus score. So Blackburn 12-6-78 move on to a 55-point lead over Balwyn, 3-5-23. Early going third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Young Tom Wilson's going to have to learn that you've kicked a goal, but your opponent's kicked 3.
So Reverall runs out of the goal square and kicks it long to the wing. Marking contest for Freeman. Was held onto as he put one arm to it, and he made sure the umpire saw this being held. So Freeman, short, dinky pass inboard. Gilchrist has a juggle, but gets it off to O'Regan on the run. He gets tackled and taken down. So Blackburn in the middle of the ground harass their way onto the ball, and it's a force ball up at the centre of Balwyn Park.
Gee, their defensive pressure then, when they looked like the ball were out, was sensational from Blackburn.
So Balwyn played on without looking to what it was going to lead to. Blackburn controlled the corridor. O'Regan, long kick, high one, up and under, big contest, fall of the ball. It's Balwyn taking it out of the pack through Sharman, and his quick kick to goal has missed everything and is out on the full. Or is it on the bounce? Yeah, it's on the bounce. So it's now a ball in just next to the behind post. So Balwyn keeping it within their area, trying to create goals from stoppages. Moncourse front position in front of Howe, maintains it, but Howe does get his hand on it as the taller opponent. Ground level ball, all the Rovers jump on it, and it'll be a ball up 30 out as Gray picks himself up, and it's handed to the umpire with Haley in the contest as well. Big contest for Balwyn if they can win it, but Blackburn at ground level, high up and under, didn't go anywhere. So underneath it is Otten, and he's strong in every contest he puts himself in. Hands it back to the umpire. 40 metres out from Balwyn's goal as they go to the Northern or Whitehorse Road end. It's a tap out wide. Balwyn using the expanses of the ground, trying to generate some free ball, but it's now been a tackle wrapped up with Fraser as we go boundary side for car sales.
Look, guys, we've got a lot of high rotations down here for the Blackburn guys, so they've got fresh legs, but the centre clearances from Balwyn's been, they've won every one, so their centres are working really hard. They've come out of the blocks firing, so hopefully we can see a bit more of goal conversions from them.
Rotations expected in the 22-degree temperature as a high ball is kicked towards the centre of the ground. Conker caught behind for Blackburn. The Burners trying to work it forward. Off the ground, Lawler had a fresh air shot. Taylor Gilchrist burrows in, sends the hand pass out, but to no avail as Gray intercepts, gives it out to Vasari. His kick smothered, and now Balwyn on the counter-attack can make the pay. Sharman with the hand pass in the direction there of Weverall. Hires it out. A chance for O'Regan. Shoots towards goal, and Balwyn have strung 2 together. They're 4-5-29. Blackburn 12-6-78. Is there life left? 8 minutes into the third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Well, it's their best piece of play of the day there, Balwyn. They won that turnover just on sheer persistence.
They did, and that's again O'Regan involved, and that's where he's got to be. That's where he's got to hurt on. When the ball hits the ground, be part of that ground ball outward player, and not get caught in them kicking the ball long into an opportunity for Otten to just take the easy mark.
Anderson finds his way into the ruck for Balwyn. Howe's been going solo in the centre, and it's one forward. Gilchrist gets it for Balwyn. They have been winning the middle, but it's at half back where they repel as usual. Do Blackburn. Lawler, he's got 2 metres on his opponent. He rushed himself close to the boundary line, tried to kick it off on the bounce, and the ball got away from him and out of bounds on the wing. So we'll have a boundary throw in. Let's look at the Eastland scoreboard at 9 minutes into the third term. It's Blackburn 12-6-78, leading Balwyn 4-5-29. We didn't see this one-sided contest, but the frenetic pace of the first term might have taken its toll, as it seems like Balwyn are just trying to close it down. But the rock contest free kick will go to...
No, it's redoing the throw-in.
Right. Well, Hal tricked me. He thought he might have got a free kick, but the umpire whistled for another go at the boundary throw-in.
A ruckman trying to talk someone into a free kick? Never.
Well, that boundary throw-in is now got the distance, so that's fine. And at ground level, there is a free kick going to Blackburn. Off the ball, though. It was over the shoulder, and there's a bit of push and shove. It was indiscriminate, and Manuel is being told, don't do that again. So it's Blackburn loading up to Hammond in position. He takes the stretch. He was underneath it, but he's such a leaper that he can leap up and back and stretch for a big mark. And from 40 metres out, he has, looking at the score sheet, not yet put a goal on the board. It's a rare occurrence that he goes goalless in a game. He's left it up to his teammates to do the scoring as he roams forward, but within range, 40 metres out, almost directly in front. Big opportunity for let's say a settler, but they've got such a good lead.
Yeah, look, Milhausen just got caught completely out of touch there. Just didn't realise he was going to be able to grab that. It was a great mark.
Hammond. It's a floater, but it's gone straight. No one can stop that going through the middle. It was a real teaser for Balwyn, but it's a goal for Blackburn. Hammond's first, and they stretch out back to a big lead. 13-6-84, 55 points ahead of Balwyn, who are 4-5-9. 11 minutes gone, third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
That's where it hurts. So they've done a lot of good hard work. Balwyn kicked a couple, and then an indiscriminate free kick in a stoppage situation. Kick forward, mark, and goal, and it just takes the wind out of the sails a little bit.
So Jake Hammond's 7th goal of the season stems the flow, and Blackburn continue to maintain their big advantage on the scoreboard. Rucks go at it, will have a secondary bounce as a scrimmage ensues in the middle. Rennie Gilchrist was on top of the pack. Things getting a bit willing out there. Set in motion once again. No one really went up in the ruck contest. Hand pass comes out to Rennie Gilchrist. He's claimed by Lawler and will have yet another bounce in the middle. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. SEN Plus 1377 and EFL.org.au. Let's head boundary side for car sales.
Number 14, we've got Liam Murphy, who unfortunately hit his head earlier in the second quarter. He's coming back on for the Burners, so good to see him back out on the park.
It is, after that nasty clash with the fence, as Hammond is pushed to the ground by a couple of Tigers, and we'll have yet another bounce, 50 out from the Blackburn goal. Kicked 6 last week against Montrose, Jake Hammond. 1 to his name today.
Richards is coming straight off in that situation. Looks like an ankle issue.
Car sales boundary riders on top of that. Fraser gets the hand pass out. It was partially smothered. It's at left half back for the Tigers. Kicking it round the body is Sanfilippo, returning from injury. It forces it forward towards centre wing. Haley gets the hand pass out to Rennie Gilchrist and feeds it through to Gottlieb. Centre. He's taken down. Well, that just about sums up the day. The ferocity of the Blackburn players forcing the turnover. Gray weaves his way through onto the right foot. Looks for the intended target in Day, and in the end just misread it on that occasion. And the mark taken by his opponent in Milhausen. Look into the corridor. It's intercepted. Chance again for Blackburn. Streaming through is Faulkner. Kick towards half forward. Looking for Hammond. And a great one-hander stuck in the mid for Pendlebury. He kicks across his defensive half-back line. And the mark's taken there by Sanfilippo. Looking there for Freeman. Couldn't quite take it on the half volley. Still a chance now for the Burners. Socio. Hand pass. It's between half forward and centre wing for Blackburn. Lawler waiting for the hand pass to be fed out to him. It's going to be a ball up, however. 60 out from the Blackburn goal.
That was a poor kick, wasn't it? It was. Sanfilippo.
That was lazy. Absolute laziness there.
Yep, a lot of one-step floaters. And there's no margin for error. As we've got a boundary throw in coming from the ruck contest, and it gives us time to go to our boundary riders for car sales.
Xavier Richards from the Balwyn side, so he's come off limping, but it might be a bit of a corky, we're not sure, but he's up and about, and we might try and go and find out from the physio exactly what's happened, but hopefully nothing too serious.
And Fraser's been terrorising the opposition, and this time he wins himself a free kick for being dragged off the contest, and that's a great mark drawn in by Goebbels, who had a man all over him, so he loads up a long ball, 40 out, big fly over the top. Sharman can't draw it in. Quick kick out from Blackburn's going to be intercepted. Gilchrist, Taylor gets it to his teammate in Milhausen, and now a long kick towards Goebbels. Got plenty to beat. Ground level, it's all Blackburn, and they seem like they're only watching on, but the tackle flies in. Quick kick around the corner from Urban. Goes to the left. Is it marked on the line before it goes through a point? And Balwyn, somehow, out of all that, they could manufacture a goal. They looked like they were standing off the contest a bit there, but one tackler came in and turnover ball for
that's
Urban.
a mark.
And it's a mark now to Martin, who's been moved forward on the goal line, or point line, should I say. So he's in between the big stick and the little stick. And we're still discussing whether it's a mark or not, are we?
I thought it was a mark.
Yeah, I think he got it in at the right time.
The ball's just, now he's doing the old Stevie J from the point post. He kicks it around the corner. I think he's manufactured the kick to go through the middle, and the goal umpire comes back to the middle of the goals and signals it for a major. 5-5-35 Balwyn. They trail Blackburn 13-6-84. 15 minutes gone, third term Eastland scoreboard.
And look, even though they've kicked the goal, the thing that was disappointing, they went to that long bomb kick into the forward line again. They'd been a little bit more methodical previously with their hands and feet. They've just got to get away from that because Blackburn have got too many bigs that just keep intercepting all the time when it's down there. It was some good tackling and an excellent mark that was able to get that goal then.
So I would dare say that Rodney Eade at half-time would have said, get out there and win the third quarter at least.
I reckon he's used to giving a spray or two, Rodney, so I reckon he might have given him a little one.
3 goals for the quarter now for Balwyn as Howe wins the tap for Blackburn, but it's his opposing ruckman in Monkhurst who wins the clearance. Sends a high ball towards centre wing. Flying high there was Smart. Couldn't quite take the mark. A number of rainmakers towards half forward. Goebbels flew high. Couldn't quite hold it. And as a consequence, the Burners are away on the counter attack. Chip pass to Harkins on centre wing on the eastern side. Holds the play up. And just manages to stem the tempo to an extent. Allows his forwards to get back into position. Harkins on the left foot. Looks towards half forward. No one home for the Burners. Monkhurst takes it easy. Uncontested mark. Looks laterally towards the outer wing. The bounce is very much fickle for Freeman. Got the hand pass away. Reddy Gilchrist on centre wing. Looks backwards to Gottliebsen. He's tackled by a couple of Burners. Did get the hand pass out eventually. The don't argue there from Freeman was good. Managed to keep it in play. Sends a dribbling ball towards half forward. Again, no one present for the Balwyn Football Club. And Fagan will take a relieving mark for the Burners.
He's got the good sense to slow it down. I think they realise that Balwyn are getting their hands on the ball. So the short pass didn't suit Lawler. He comes in, but he was hit from the side in the marking contest. Ball comes to the ground where Balwyn might have the numbers with Gilchrist. His handball was rushed into his teammate who was tackled by Fagan. So Fagan having to do some good hard stuff just to hold up Balwyn, who've got a bit of a surge on.
They are, but they just outnumber them all over the park, don't they, Blackburn? They just run to help all the time.
Monkhorst taps forward, but again, Blackburn seem to have the numbers at ground level. Balwyn come in for the tackle. It's still in. Bit of indiscriminate bumping, and now with the ball was it Urban getting taken to the ground, and he got swung into the turf.
Boundary.
And we will go boundary side for Carsales.
Look, I've just gone and checked the Balwyn bench, and Xavier Richards just sitting down, and no real update on his status, but I don't know if he's going to be coming back on, so let's watch this space.
So it's Balwyn winning it in tight, close to the boundary line. They're trying to keep it in, but maybe they shouldn't have, as Blackburn shark the hand pass and kick it to half forward, where there's a numbers around the pack. And this game has just got a bit of a kick and hope sort of scenario at the moment.
Well, it was always going to be hard for them to keep that pace up in the first half. We're only talking local footy here.
Oh, I think anyone at that pace is going to run out a bit of a puff.
Oh, exactly.
The 22 degrees, it feels a bit more, especially when you're exerting yourself so much. Monkhurst front position, Dorian first onto it, just couldn't get it in his grasp, and the pack jump all over the ball, and it's a ball up 60 metres all round from Blackburn's goal. They've done well just to hold it up. I feel like they're somewhat on the back foot as Balwyn gets some urgency around the contest. Monkhurst might be a bit of an instigator in that regard. He goes to tap and he tackles his opponent who tried to pick himself up, and he chucked him back on the ground. So Monkhurst will go again against Howe. Wins, keeps the front position, knocks it forward. Can't keep on the ground is Manuel. As he loses his footing, he taps it out of bounds, but gains some territory. So they've gone to centre wing.
I reckon he's worked really hard in this first bit, Monkhorst. He's trying to give his side every opportunity with his ruck work. So far, it's worked only a little bit, but nonetheless, he's trying.
Approaching time on in this third term, it's Blackburn by 49 points as Conker is rested to the ground. In fact, Gray was in the thick of it as well. The umpire's blown the whistle. And it may be a free kick for a sling here. It's going the way of Blackburn, Gray the recipient.
Gee, it's great to see, Davo. They just don't learn about that sling tackle, do they?
No.
So Gray, the plaudits of the crowd, kicks inside the 40. Hammond making position against 3. Did force it to ground level, which was a good effort in that situation. Liam Murphy is harried to the ground and will have a bounce 35 out from the Blackburn goal.
Great work by the ruckman then. His ability to work in front of that contest, in front of Hammond, put his body on the line. I thought he was outstanding.
Boundary.
Yeah, Tom Wilson is in a bit of trouble. Let's head to our Carsales boundary riders.
Yes, he is not looking great. He's got to say a caught fly there.
I think he certainly is limping be around, that's for sure, as the ball is again in a scrimmage. Lawler got the hand pass out to his teammate in Murphy, who slams it on the boot and has carried the distance, and Blackburn have carried the distance today. They move on to 13.684. It should be 14.690 on the scoreboard as it ticks over now. Balwyn 5.535. Time on third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Yeah, that's a really good goal there by Liam Murphy. He made something out of nothing there, Davo.
Boundary. And they've been able to do that all day, haven't they? They've made lots of things. Balwyn, nothing's really happened for them.
And penalty again for Carsales.
Yeah, we've got Tom Wilson here, who just mentioned he got a bit of a cork to the top of his thigh. He's bent over. He's not even made it to the bench. He's just on the interchange line here. We've got the physio with him, but he's I'm not sure what he's done. He might be winded. Hopefully he's all right. He's got up now, so we'll keep you posted.
Top of the 5, very delicate area for him. For your manhood, so just see how he goes as he recovers. But Moncourse wins the free kick in the middle. The ball was smothered because the ruckman on the man of the mark goes against and over the line. So Moncourse is advanced by 25 metres, but no one's rushing to pick up the ball for Balwyn. And
judging by that last kick, he won't kick this goal.
So he's within 50 as the man of the mark is on the 40-metre line.
He has had a good quarter though. I've got to give it to him. He's really come out and tried his best.
Big right foot effort. He puts it down the barrel and it's gone straight and long, and it was so convincing. Don't talk about his kicking for goal. That was pure football ability there. And Moncourse 6 goals 5, 41 are Balwyn. They trail Blackburn 14.690. It's a 49-point margin. 22 minutes gone. Third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
I got to eat humble pie there. His last kick was a shank, and then he gets a 25-metre penalty and then makes a fool of me. Well done though, this quarter by Riley Moncourse. He's played well.
Back in the middle, and that man Monkhurst winning the tap once again. Tries to rove his own footy, exerts his physical presence on the contest with a big slam tackle on his opponent in Sochio. Will have a secondary bounce. It's a convincing day. Still 49 points the margin in favour of Blackburn. Can the Tigers string a couple together? They win the clearance as the kick comes towards centre wing, and a good mark is taken in front of Fagan there. It was well held by Reddy Gilchrist. Fools his opponent, sells some candy on the right foot, sends a floating ball inside 50, almost taken on the second bite. It's intercepted there in the tackle by Gray. He's gang claimed to the ground. Goebbels amidst the feverish attempts there. We'll have a bounce 35 out for the ball and goal.
He's still tried hard, Reddy Gilchrist. You know, he's still a class footballer. They've got him now out on a wing position, so hopefully going to generate some work through him.
Howe kicks it out of the scrimmage towards the centre of the ground. Conker did well to read the play and get the hand pass over to Day. It's an open forward line for Hammond. He just needs the bounce to favour him. It was Fickle in the end. He's got his opponent in Bill Hewson to contend with. He falls to ground level. Bill Hewson did well to wrap Hammond up in the tackle, and we'll have a stalemate. 35 out from the Blackburn goal.
That was a good contest, that.
Yep.
It was just too fickle in the end, that bounce. Hammond slow to get up. He seems to be limping a little, but should be able to resume full fitness. But he's grimacing. We'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, play on in shoes. Baffy, that man again, Baffy in front, takes the mark on the chest in front of his opponent in Anderson, and will go back from point blank range and put Blackburn further ahead.
Yeah, Hammond has to come off the ground. He realised that he's just a little bit more sore than what he thought. He can't run that one out, so he needs a spell.
So Patterson was the one who delivered it to Baffy on a platter, just hacking the kick forward to the top of the square. And Ryan Baffy, who scored 2 majors in the first term, can add to the red and black party. 15 metres out, listen to the roar. So Blackburn 15.696. They continue their dominance over Balwyn 6.541. 25 minutes gone. Third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Yeah, look, that was just a right place, right time, doing what you've got to do as a forward in those situations. Always make sure you're playing in front. Big body like that, pretty hard to get around. So, a clever way of positioning yourself and good goal.
Boundary.
before the ball up again. We'll go boundary side for car sales.
Guys, Xavier Richards, he's still sitting on the bench. He hasn't moved for at least 15 to 20 minutes now, so I dare say his day's done.
Thanks, Hayden. Blackburn win the centre clearance, high up and under. The bouncing ball. Sanfilippo traps it, does well. Puts it on the boot as soon as he grabs it. Long ball to centre forward. Big contest. Alia at ground level picks up the ball. He tries to pretend to hand pass it as he gets tackled, and he drops it to the ground. Allows the umpire to come in and ball it up. So it's they've just settled into the game. I know it's probably beyond them now, but Balwyn, they're starting to win at the contest a bit more.
Oh, look, they've probably gone close to winning the quarter, score-wise, so that's what Rodney would have wanted.
Moncourse wins the tap forward. It's a contested ball, tackled by Alia. He's held him up nicely. It's a throw against Urban. Eventually he tried to release it, but he just didn't have the second hand to do a hand pass. And Alia, short out wide, goes towards the new complex. Wing side, still on half back for Blackburn, as Murphy tries to signal which way he's going. Conker's underneath. It may be a poor choice. Gilchrist sets himself up to go the punch. Taylor, that was. Hand pass forward for Blackburn might work out because they've got to run at boundary side. And now the short spearing ball over the top of the player there in Socho has moved forward. Was it still in when he kicked it off the ground? And luckily for him, it wasn't, because he kicked it further out in the full. But it's a ball in, close to the point post, as Blackburn look to attack again and try to equal the scores for the term. It's 4 goals to 3 this term for Balwyn, and we've travelled 26 minutes into this third term. Moncourse stands in front position, but again Howe gets the bodywork going late. Hand pass quickly comes out to Haley. He's kick smothered. Conker picks it up at 40. Hand pass is inboard. It was hopeful, but it found a mount, and the short pass was hopeful as well, but it was marked by Bartlett at 35 metres out. Man on the spot, and everything Blackburn do, if it's rushed, if it's hurried, they still find a teammate. And it was a quick ball forward by Vasari, tackled as he kicked, but he got it to Bartlett.
Well, in that last ruck contest, that was nearly, again, Danaher going around the back of the pack. He nearly got that ball to go onto his left to kick the goal, spilled out, and instead they've got this another shot for his fourth, is it?
Fifth.
It's for his fifth, Bartlett. It's what a cameo it is, but it misses to the right. Maybe he needs to be on the run. As the pressure is on. Minor score, it's now a 55-point margin. 15-7-97, or the scoreboard's got me confused. 15-7-97 to 6-5-41. We'll check that as three-quarter time nearly comes upon us.
In the meantime, on the cusp of the final change, Chris Pendlebury bring it back into play for the Tigers. Looks straight down the middle through the corridor. Goebbels was caught behind. It's forced forward for a punt from Smart. It's still in the middle of the ground. Goebbels went without it. Reddy Gilchrist tries to bustle his way through. Good tackle effected by Xavier Murphy, the Blackburn vice-captain, but it's too high according to the umpire, and Reddy Gilchrist will receive the free kick. Right in the centre of the ground. Waste no time, Gilchrist, as he spears it down the middle inside 50. Chance for Goebbels. He's harried to the ground there by Vasari, and the umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going the way of the Burners, to be taken by Tyler Faulkner, who also affected the gang tackle. And they can repel from defence here, the Burners.
He just needs more help, doesn't he, Goebbels?
Yep.
There's just not enough help around there for him. He's a target every time. He gets really beaten up every game. They're very physical on him.
Fagan at left half back finds Otten, who's been instrumental all afternoon to Blackburn's dominance. There's an interceptor more often than not. The kick, however, left a lot to be desired to centre wing, and it's Taylor Gilchrist who does just that with the interception. Looks inboard laterally to the centre of the ground and finds Cross. Swings onto the right foot. Cross kicks inside 50, finds a teammate fortuitously on the right foot with a floating ball, and Marco Regan, who has been admirable for Balwyn, can go back and have a shot from 40 metres out.
He certainly had a much better quarter. And that's because they moved the ball around there. They just didn't bomb it into the goal, into the forward line. They sought out a target, so he should be able to make the distance.
Marco Regan, slightly better than a 45-degree angle. Be kicking from just inside 40. It swings from right to left. It's okay. It's a major for Balwyn. He kicks his second, and the Tigers move on to 7-5-47. They trail Blackburn 15-7-97 on the cusp of three-quarter time on this Eastland scoreboard.
Well, again, Rocket, when he goes and speaks to them at three-quarter time, he can only ask them to win the last quarter. They're not going to probably kick 10 goals to win it in that last quarter, but he can just continue to ask. They work hard in the middle, lower their eyes when they go forward, and they've certainly played a much better quarter this quarter.
Back in the middle of Balwyn Park. Moncourse, he doesn't have the energy to jump, but he still won the tap somehow. As a quick hurry kick by Blackburn out of the centre contest. It's a fierce one. It's 2v2, and the umpire sees a push off, and it'll be a relieving free kick to Balwyn's defender.
I reckon he was lucky to get that. There was nothing in that.
Weatherwald is happy to take the free kick at half back, but again, no leading options, no runners looping behind him, so he finds a short to Gilchrist on the boundary. Inboard, it might open up now. That's a beautiful pass, finding the runner, Galeepson. He's quick to play inside 50. Wow, they come from both ends to knock down the Sharman. Play goes on for Balwyn, and the umpire says come back. It's because it's stopped play, and it's going to be a free kick for one of the Balwyn players who was, after Sharman got knocked down.
A couple of Blackburn players are down here.
I think Wilson's getting the down the field free kick for Sharman being taken from the front, because when he went for the marking contest, he really was taking a hammering from both behind and from in front, and Sharman won't get the free kick, but maybe it will be Wilson further down the field by 5 metres.
The value of Gilchrist there with the kick that opened up the play. That's what they've been looking for all day.
It was Godleepson barely stopped in stride. He only did it just to steady himself on the kick.
And that's Rennie at his absolute best.
So this will be a morale-boosting kick after that passage. And you never know in football. A run-on can turn into something real quick. Wilson from 40 has put it just inside the goalposts. And it is another goal on the board. 6 for the term. He's second. And Balwyn now on the Eastland scoreboard. 8 goals, 5, 53. They trail by 44. Blackburn are 15-7, 97. And a whistle's gone for blood rule as we go boundary side to our car sales, boundary riders.
Look, guys, Liam Murphy, who copped a face-full offence in that second quarter, he's now limped off with an ankle injury after that massive collision. So he's cracked in hard today, and he's come off second best. He's probably a bit unlucky.
I don't think he'd be buying a Tats Lotto ticket, that's for sure. As we're about to resume hostilities once again. 44 points the margin on the cusp of three-quarter time. I'm not sure what the EFL record is for the biggest comeback from three-quarter time, but it's not necessarily insurmountable as far as history is concerned. Now the free kick's been picked out of the bounce, and it's going to be a Balwyn free. The recipient on the siren was Haley, but to no avail. So at three-quarter time, Haley's going to go back and try and shoot for goal from the centre of the ground.
Is that a 25?
Gone for the torpedo, and as expected, it won't go anywhere near the distance required. So at three-quarter time, Blackburn a 44-point margin over Balwyn in the Good Friday extravaganza. The Burners are 15-7-97, Balwyn 8-5-53. Amongst the major goal scorers, Bartlett has 4 for the Burners, 3 to Ryan Matthew, and Balwyn, they had a better third term. Tom Wilson and Mark O'Regan each had 2 to their name, along with James Freeman. We'll take a break. The final quarter will be on just after this on EFL Game Day.
Crunch time. Tomorrow from 11. You're clear.
Trip ready? BP Ultimate cleans your engine while you drive. Fill up at your local BP before your Easter road trip for a cleaner, smoother, further drive.
Easter Saturday is heating up at Gumbaya World for epic water slides, rides and your fave Aussie wildlife. You got to get to Gumbaya. Bonus comedy special and wildlife show with every ticket. On the Ring Road Greensboro bound, we're getting reports of an incident near the servos at Fitzgerald Road in the left-hand emergency lane. Try ignoring this. The new Hyundai Elantra is now available from $20,990 drive away. For even more deals you can't ignore, head into your Hyundai dealer today. And that's the latest traffic on 1377 SEN+.
Football Nation. Adelaide versus Victory. Tonight from 7. 1377 SEN+.
Buses are currently replacing trains along the Sandringham line until Monday, April 22nd. For more information and to find your Plan B, visit bigbuild.vic.gov.au.
Super Rugby Live. Waratahs versus Rebels. Tomorrow from 7. 1377 SEN+.
Enjoy 25% off selected furniture and homewares collections at Oz Design Furniture. Hurry, 25% off must end Monday. Visit ozdesignfurniture.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Kevin Balwyn here. The all-new SEN app is here. Catch up on all your favourite show podcasts. Download today.
Kickstart holiday fun at Kmart with their great range of the hottest toys at irresistible prices. Like Treasure X Dragons, single pack at $10. Head into Kmart today.
Breakfast with Gary and Tim. Weekdays from 6 on SEN.
If you're a footy mad AFL fan, you'll want the best view of the action on game day.
Breaks through. Oh, kicks one of the goals of the year.
Enjoy the best seats in the house with a Centre Wing membership, available from marvelstadium.com.au. Get access to priority ticketing, an exclusive bar, and premium seating to enjoy your game. Head to marvelstadium.com.au to become a Centre Wing member today. Centre Wing, footy at its best.
Do something about youth homelessness. Sleep at the G on Thursday, May 16th. This year you can bring your kids too. For T's and C's and to register, visit sleepattheg.com.au. Hosted by Melbourne City Mission and proudly supported by Melbourne Cricket.
You guys there?
Roast lamb, chocolate gifts and entertainment you need this Easter.
Hey,
Head
Nigel.
to Eastland. Our cinemas and restaurants are open Good Friday for quality family time.
Give me there.
And stock up for a feast
mate,
on
you
Easter
won't talk.
Saturday. Fresh food opens 8 a.m.
You say
and
something.
everything else is open 9 to 5. We're also open Easter Sunday and Monday from 10 to 5 so you can get all your long weekend. Visit eastland.com.au for our opening times and much
Nigel,
more.
what's the matter?
Eastland, live real.
The only thing I would think about is who I'd be buried next to. I mean, that would...
Well, that's pre-planned.
Can you hear me there?
Yep, we're here.
Okay. There's no ad break at the end of the game.
Okay.
Have an open.
Thanks.
So 5 o'clock in.
Like I did. Price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
The Stockman's Breakfast and Richard Stockman's Big Brunch on SEM+. Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. and stay tuned till 10 a.m. when Samuel Nardi from PropertyDirectAU.com brings you a celebrity guest every week, lock, stock and barrel. With expert guests talking travel, real estate, wine, food and more, The Stockman's Breakfast and Richard Stockman's Big Brunch. 2 very different shows in one knockout hour. From 9 a.m. Saturday.
Okay, here we go.
On SEN.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
And Mike's on.
Welcome back to EFL Game Day. Final term about to get underway in this Good Friday extravaganza on SEN Plus 1377 and of course streaming live around the globe on EFL.org.au. It is Blackburn leading Balwyn by 44 points. Balwyn booted 6 goals in that third term to add some respectability to the scoreboard. The Burners 15-7-97 leading Balwyn 8-5-53. Great crowd here at Balwyn
Boundary,
Park.
guys.
And we'll head to the boundary with thanks to car sales.
Guys, down here with Blackburn coach Brendan Allen. Brendan, what's the message at three-quarter time?
Look, we just got a little bit lazy in that third quarter, sort of let them dictate around stoppage a little bit and just didn't get our defensive mechanisms right where we shift the ball and we sort of let them get back into it a little bit, but obviously it was a fair old margin at half-time, but still wasn't a real acceptable quarter of football from us, I don't think.
Look to the boys to improve?
Yeah, I think so. They just needed a little bit more energy in what they're doing. It's always hard when you go in with a 10-goal lead, especially in a 6-day break. The queue can go in the rack a little bit, but I think we'd hope we'd be a bit better than that this year. So hopefully in the last quarter we'll turn things on again.
Thanks, Brendan. Good luck.
Good stuff there. Hayden Tilbrook on the boundary line for car sales. #1 for cars. Blackburn by 44 points. Brett Davidson and Wayne Brasher join me. Any chance, any hope here for the Balwyn Footy Club?
Well, there's always hope. I mean, the siren hasn't gone for the end of the game to say that one team's won yet, so there's always hope. But look, I don't really think that they're going to come back and win the game. I would expect that Rocket Eve would want them to play with the same, I suppose, aggressiveness at the contest as what they did that last quarter. If they can do that and hit the scoreboard regularly, then they're going to give themselves a a chance at whatever. And even if they come out with a 3 or 4 goal loss, at least they know they've got something to work on for the next week.
Yeah, and I think also too, look, for Blackburn, the opposite there, Dave. I think they want to finish the game running full of steam.
Let's head boundary side for car sales. Penelope Knight.
Look, the Balwyn message there at three-quarter time was intimate. Control of the ball, fight for the footy. The intensity was a lot higher there, and their centre clearances, they beat Blackburn out of the park. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this quarter.
Start of the final term on EFL game day. The tap was won by Monkhurst as there's a scrimmage in the middle, but Blackburn with the clearance through Fagan, who sends a driving ball forward inside 50. Hammered a one-on-one contest. It's pushed to ground. Sochio has a chance for goal. Has he capitalised? Yes, he has. He snuck it home. So Blackburn continue on their merry way. They move on to 16-7, 103 to Balwyn 8-5, 53. It's a 50-point margin, in fact, on the Eastland scoreboard.
And suddenly that balloon that you blow up and hope that it goes somewhere just got popped. That was just really poor defensive work from the Balwyn midfield then. They just watched and Sochio leaped forward, and for him to be able to be 20 metres by himself is unacceptable.
And Penelope again at boundary side.
Yeah, just a quick update from the Blackburn bench. They're down 2 rotations, so...
Thanks to Penelope for car sales. Ball back in the middle, Balwyn Park again. Blackburn win the centre clearance. Just a long ball into the 50. And the Tigers winning the race through Sanfilippo. The bounce didn't suit him, went over his head. But the momentum of Conker took it out of bounds. And it's boundary throw in 40 metres around from Blackburn's goals. So they're taking control of the stoppages again, Blackburn. Won a couple of clearances, did it directly to the Whitehorse Road northern end. Boundary throw in, back of the pack, Sanfilippo. He took his time, eventually got tackled. Hand pass did come out. Smother flies in again for Blackburn, so they win the ball back. Now a looping hand pass to Lawler, who gets on the run, and from the pocket he gets another. Well, it's his first for the day, but it's another for Blackburn. 2 early in this quarter. They move on to 17-7, 109, leading by a big margin over Balwyn, who are 8-5, 53. 2 minutes gone, final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Yeah, 56 points. That margin's blown out again to Balwyn. Just have to make sure now that they don't really drop their bundle completely here, Dovo.
Yeah, and that was just tackling pressure. They were out of that contest for the first 3 possessions, and they just worked their way in with good tackling and smothering, and then got the clearance.
Into our car sales boundary riders in just a moment. Back in the middle, 56-point margin in favour of the Burners as Howe forces it forward even at ground level as well as in the air. The kick from Bartlett was smothered. The Tigers have a chance off the ground as it's socked forward by Sanfilippo and falls out of the play, and we'll have a throw in 70 metres around for the Balwyn goal. Let's head boundary side thanks to car sales.
Sorry, apologies for that. It was Balwyn. They're down 2 rotations. Boys are on the ice. They won't be coming back on.
Great atmosphere here at Balwyn Park. This Good Friday clash, which has become a tradition in the Eastern Football League between Blackburn and Balwyn. Howe wins the tap once again, and affecting the tackle there is Murphy for the Burners. Will have another bounce, true centre wing position. In fact, a free kick's been paid, and the advantage is allowed from the umpire for the Tigers. Kick towards Goebbels inside 50. He lost track and orientation, and as a result, the Burners have too many numbers. Otten looks through the corridor. The kick didn't quite find the intended target in Howe, who had to take it on the half volley. Slapped it out to his teammate, who was gang tackled, and amidst the tacklers there was Smart. Will have a bounce 55 metres around from the Balwyn goal.
And that was just Otten's beautiful anticipation and hands then.
So we're set in motion once again. Danaher waiting at the bottom of the ruck contest. He's been excellent. Fagan trying to break clear of the tackle applied by Smart. He's unsuccessful. We'll have another bounce. 45 out from the Balwyn goal. Great atmosphere, crowd in excess of over 1,000 at least, you would think. Howe winning the tap once again. Claimed there was Urban for the Tigers, and it's a pedestrian final term so far. 56 points in favour of Blackburn on the Eastland scoreboard.
So it's Howe winning it out of the ruck, and he kicks it quickly into the centre corridor. No mark taken upfield for Blackburn, but they've got the numbers. Harassment on Sanfilippo, but he rushes a kick to the half-forward line for Balwyn. It's a race for the ball. Howe gets on the end of a hand pass, but Freeman takes him on. May have been dragged off the ball when he didn't have it. but the umpire said it wasn't a long-lasting tackle, so I'll ball it up, and Howe will be able to go for the ruck contest for Blackburn as Monkhorst taps it inside the 40, but it's been roved again by Blackburn. Good work by Danaher, but his kick didn't go too far, and Balwyn intercepted centre forward. We go boundary side for the Car Sales.
Look, another man down, I think, for Balwyn. Well, he's certainly got a bit of a limp up. That's Kane Smart, number 14. We'll watch him and see how he tracks, but he's not looking too fresh there.
Contest won by Balwyn. They're sharing it around outside the arc. Cross tries to go inboard. Short pass finds Gilchrist, who sat under it for a good half a minute, but he did take the mark as there was no defenders rushing him. And from 35 metres out, Gilchrist will look to get his first goal on the board for the skipper.
Once again, the advantage of playing in front on one of those kicks that just happened from nowhere, Davo.
It was, and look, as I said before, he can hold his head high. He's worked really hard to try and get him in.
So from 40, he doesn't miss, and Gilchrist gets Blackburn's 9th goal on the board. They move on to 9-5-59. They trail by 50. So it's Balwyn, 9-5-59. They're trailing by 50. Let's not forget that Blackburn are 17-7, 109.
It's our boundary side with thanks to Car Sales.
So Blackburn's Liam Murphy, who came off with the head injury second quarter and a bit of an ankle strain potentially in the third. He's just come back on, so he's not giving up this one. He's a fighter.
He certainly endured a number of erratic situations in this game, and Balwyn, they've been fairly erratic throughout the afternoon. They're 50 points down early in this final term as we're set in motion again. Ready Gilchrist and Fagan had a two-way traffic collision almost, but Fagan won out. Kick towards centre half forward. It's a fickle bounce in favour of Conker. Paddles it to his advantage. Eventually finds support towards the left in that pocket. Swinging around the body there is Sochio for goal. He's off target. It's a minus score to the left. So Blackburn move on to 17-8, 110. They lead Balwyn 9-5-59. 6 minutes gone. Final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
He's been very good, Conker, hasn't he? Every time the ball's been in his area, he's been dangerous, and you think something's going to happen. So, you need players like that down in the forward line. He's certainly been very good today.
So Weatherald has become the designated kicker in place of Pendlebury in the second half from defence. Looks towards left half back, missed the intended target, but Cross was waiting behind his teammate in Wilson. It's gone out of play here, and the umpire will throw it in about 60 metres around from the Tigers' goal.
Cross has certainly been a bit disappointing as well, hasn't he? He's been well marked, and they've certainly locked him down, but he has had very little influence on the game.
Yeah, good job done by Sochio today on him. He's had a good game. Kieran Gray too.
Yes.
Bucks go at it, 50 out from Blackburn's goal, but Cross picks it up at the fall of the ball and just boots it to half forward. Goebbels comes in late, causes a spill, and at ground level maybe too high on the Blackburn player who was first to rove it.
You can't do that. You can't tackle front on when the player's knees are on the ground. You're going to run into his face.
Yeah, so Freeman gave away the free kick. Now they transition from one side to the other, and now it's broadcast size where Elliott gets a long ball down the line to Fagan. He runs himself as he takes the mark out of play, so he'll look inboard. It's dangerous. Monkhorst, the tallest man for Balwyn, gets in the way, but he kicks into the little man in front of him, Murphy. Gilchrist takes the spilled ball, and his short pass finds O'Regan, who's going to kick for his third from 40 metres out.
That's what happened with these big ruckmen. They get the ball, they get 2 metres in front, and they think, you know what, I'm a rover. And
exactly.
And they're not. So, but look, again, he's worked really, really hard, the big man, after half-time.
Well, luckily Gilchrist made an assessment. I'd better go with him and see where this ball goes, and he was there to get the rebound. So O'Regan will have his shot for his third goal. He's been drifting forward at times to good effect, and it's a long kick. It's drifting left, just sneaks in. Not many cheers because it's been over since half-time, but it's another goal to Balwyn. They're 10th for the day. They're 10-5-65 as Blackburn is 17-8, 110. It's a 45-point margin at the 9-minute mark of this final term.
He can hold his head up, O'Regan. He's had a better second half. He's put his body on the line. He's made space and tried to be creative in that Balwyn forward line when they had nothing in that first half.
Yeah, look, you'd probably say that Otten has won that contest, although they've now made a change and Otten's not playing on. But earlier on, Otten had won it, but now it's a bit of an even break, those two.
O'Regan's third goal whittles the deficit back to 45 points for the Tigers. It's back in the middle. No one can get clear possession. Howe tried to pick it up off the half volley. His opponent, Monkhurst, dribbles a kick forward for the Tigers. Chance now for Smart, who's lifted in the second half. On the left foot, finds his intended target in Freeman, who was good early for the Tigers in terms of scoring opportunities. Kicks towards the hot spot at the back. Is it held by Manuel? It is. On the second bite. Just read the footy better on that occasion. And he can go back and shoot from 25 metres out.
That's what makes him such a great player. I mean, he was in position, then out of position, lost his body touch, but was able to just take a lovely mark.
Just read it. Far superior to his opponents there. So Cam Manuel, 2016 Chandler medalist, and go back and add some respite for Balwyn from 25 metres out. He splits the middle. They've strung another together, the Tigers. They move on to 11-5-71, trailing Blackburn 17-8, 110. 10 minutes gone in the final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Yeah, look, Rodney would be happy with this, but I think Brendan Allen would be really disappointed. He'd want, especially the kicking those first two at the start of that quarter, he would have wanted them to come out and kick another 6 or 7 and really put a stamp and send a message to everybody else and say, come at us.
How relevant is Anzac Day, though, for Blackburn? Queue in the rack sort of stuff, waiting for the next game maybe at halftime.
No queue in the rack. You go for the kill.
Then Monkhurst gets the ruck. He roves his own ball. His kick is marked by O'Regan, who's going for goal number 4, 40 metres out directly in front. Let's change the context a little bit. 2 big injuries. Richards and Pendlebury both off since halftime for hammies.
Okay.
So that takes a lot of structure out of Balwyn. So give them credit for restructuring and getting some momentum up on the scoreboard.
They've done well.
And it's winning it from the middle.
O'Regan from 45 for goal number 4 for his day. He just misses. And it's a minor score. So they're peppering now, Balwyn. 11-6-72, trailing Blackburn 17-8, 110. 11 and a half minutes gone, final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
If you kick that, the margin would have been reduced to 33 points as Otten sends it back into play for the Burners towards the wing on the broadcast side. The Tigers managed to manufacture a turnover again through Urban. Kick towards centre half forward, and the mark's been taken by James Freeman. He can go back and shoot for his third, and if he kicks this, the margin is back to 32 points. There's probably still 20 minutes of playtime left.
What are you saying, Damo?
Oh, I'm just trying to add suspense, Gav. Well, if he kicks this, do you give them any hope?
No. But it's certainly something that it'll give the game a bit more of a spark.
James Freeman shooting from directly in front, 35 metres out. The Raw tells the story. The Tigers have added their 12th on the board. They're 12-6-78. Blackburn 17-8, 110. A 32-point ball game, 12 and a half gone final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Well, they've kicked 10 after quarter time.
Not bad.
After half time, isn't it?
Correct.
10 after half time compared with Blackburn's 5. So, they've certainly got a little bit more of impetus. The key thing is win it out of the middle. This is a short ground. Win it out of the middle, get it down, take a mark, kick a goal. That only takes 20 seconds.
Blackburn kicked the first 2 goals of this quarter, but Balwyn have rebounded with 4, and we are now 13 minutes gone in the final term. Blackburn, they're spilling the ball out. Murphy just kicks it off in a hurry. He just kicks it from a fresh air to centre forward, but Balwyn hold up nicely, and the charge to the boundary line was led by Taylor Gilchrist, and he saw some respite there. 50 metres away from the Blackburn's goals. So maybe momentum is building at least some confidence for next week, but let's think if momentum can be created for today's finish. Monkhurst at centre half back. He allows his opponent to get in front in Howe. Howe wins the tap down. Ground level ball. No one claims it yet. Jump on the ball there by the Balwyn player. They would say it was around the neck. And it'll be back to the umpires. Picking himself up was Fraser. Coming in late was Howe to win the tap down. and Balwyn have got it through San Filippo, but he's wrapped up in a double man tackle.
This is where they've been dangerous, Blackburn, around the contest down in the forward line.
Howe just knocks it forward, tries to get some metres, but it doesn't spill beyond the circumference around that stoppage, so the umpire comes in again. He's got a quick whistle. He senses that this has been wrapped up. Blackburn might just like it like that. Howe takes it out of the ruck contest. Hand pass forward. Hopeful hand pass. Lawler's there. He's kick smothered. Inboard though. Gray picks it up. He spills it to the ground. Can Blackburn manufacture something? Conker! How did he do it? He was tackled, but he reels himself out. He should have gone on his left, put it on his right, and went through the middle from 10 metres out.
That's his fourth.
And Conker kicks his fourth, seals the game if it was ever in doubt. Blackburn now 18-8, 1-16, leading by 38 on Balwyn, who are 12-6, 78.
And that's what we talked about, the strength. You know, one of the things that the opposition team's going to have to do some homework on is who can we put down there that's strong enough to actually take him on. And again, he hurt Gottliebson with his strength.
So Luke Conker's fourth goal takes the wind out of Balwyn's sails in this final term. Monkhurst has been excellent in the ruck against Howe. It's been an intriguing battle. Gained 10 metres of meterage for his side, and we have a scrimmage and a bounce 60 metres around from the Tigers' goal. Blackburn do maintain this performance. Certainly be happy and go chock full of confidence into Anzac Day. Kick out of the pack there from Otten, goes towards the half-forward line. Conker again wanting his fifth goal, overran the football. Still a chance to retrieve it. Trying to break clear as Bathy. Couldn't quite, and it's holding the ball. So Ryan Bathy probably fancying himself a little too much on that occasion, and Balwyn are away through the corridor, and Monkhurst takes the mark at centre field again, kicking into the man on the mark, and it's Otten once again creating the turnover. Hand pass to Fagan, chips the pass inside 50. It's good delivery, and the mark has been taken, I believe, from Day, about 40 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle.
So that's one of those interesting ones where is it a play on, or did he go across the mark?
Yeah, the umpire pulled one of them up earlier in the afternoon too. So I'm a little bit perplexed by that one as well.
Paddy Lawler, the recipient, taking the mark just inside the 40. Can continue on the Blackburn momentum and capitalise from 35 metres out. Starts it right and it stays there. Only a minor score. So Blackburn 18-9, 117, leading Balwyn 12-6, 78, 16 and a half gone final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
What do you, Dave, think of the advantage when they kick it to Monkhorst? The umpire called advantage, but it went to Monkhorst and he got it smothered. There was all opening up for Balwyn, so maybe it was a bit of encroachment to on that kick, but Otten was there to rove.
I just thought Otten's went across and forward, but they're hard to call.
So the kick out's long from Balwyn. They go towards Gilchrist. He finds himself in back position, and Otten, maybe best on ground, takes another strong mark overhead and spears in a ball, and he finds Hammond. What a great player Hammond is. And this time he wasn't a flyer, he stood his ground, took a mark 35 metres out.
And that's the value of Otten. That left foot, it's dangerous. He's got penetration. Like that was a 45 to 50 low kick, and that's where he's so dangerous. And I think he's been excellent today.
So Hammond from forward, he's kicked one today. He's been all over the ground. Galiepson's been manful on him. The kick is drifting left to right, but it already went through the middle before the umpire worried about that. And it's another goal to Blackburn. 19-9, 123, leading Balwyn 12-6, 78. 18 minutes gone, final term. What a great game for Blackburn. The handsome lead on the Eastland scoreboard.
Yeah, it's back out to 7 goals again. It was down to 5, back out to 7. So, it's been a terrific game of football when you think about it. We had 31 goals scored, been good goal kicking, good marking up in the forward line, so it's been a cracking game of footy.
No questioning the state of the game in the Eastern Football League. As we get underway once again from the middle. Tap one by Howe for the Burners. Jake Hammond has 8 goals to his name in season 2019 as a free kick's been picked out for a high tackle from the umpire. Fraser, I think, will be the recipient. And I think the offender on that occasion was Gray by the looks of the umpire's motioning. It is Fagan.
Because he ran through a bit indiscriminately, not knowing what he was doing.
Fraser chips the pass to Reddy Gilchrist, who does likewise. A long kick into the pocket. Otten flew high for the Burners in defence. Couldn't quite hold the mark. Trying to bustle his way through is Luke Parker. Was unsuccessful. Goebbels sends the hand pass out to Cross. He had turned, harries it out to Urban. They're trying to work backwards across the 40 here, the Balwyn Tigers. Around the body goes Haley. A long ball to the hot spot. Goebbels in front position. Couldn't quite take the mark. It's thumped for by Howe for the Burners. Balwyn have set up the wall and established it across the middle. Reddy Gilchrist sends it long after the hand pass from Gottliebsen. The spoil from Otten was very good. Still a chance for Freeman in the pocket. Hands it out. Reddy Gilchrist on the left foot. Swings it round his body. Only a minor score to the right. So Balwyn move on to 12-8-80. They trail Blackburn by 43 points. 19-9-123. Approaching time on in the final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
He probably had Cross then that he could have given the ball to that was directly in front, but one of those ones he took it upon himself.
It's a 50-50 one there.
Yep.
I think he wrong-footed his opponent and had a sense he could have a good shot at it. So good effort by Gilchrist, but he pulled it too much. The kick out, free kick goes to Blackburn in the marking contest at half back. No quick play on situation for Blackburn. As we tick in towards time on in this final quarter. Short pass is dangerous. Set up Murphy. The punch comes in, so it's a turnover ball. Balwyn overlap, and it's now the quick kick in, and Freeman finds him space. And in that space, he took a good mark uncontested, and the ball in from Gilchrist barely got over eye level.
And that's been the difference. When they've brought the ball in low and quick, they've been a chance. Every time they put the ball in high, it's allowed Otten to float across from wherever he wants and knock the ball down. So they've certainly got a lot to work with, but there's a lot of positives to work with Balwyn.
So Freeman going for his fourth for the day, and he's that foil that Goebbels needs.
Yep.
He's even probably the main man today. Freeman from 40 metres out, drifts to the right, never was online, I think. And it's another minor score. So the scoreboard's not looking pretty for Balwyn late in this game. 12-8-80, trailing Blackburn 19-9-123. It's a 43-point margin on the Eastland scoreboard.
Let's head boundary side with thanks to car sales.
There's a lot of hands-on knees from the Balwyn camp out here. I mean, we're entering the final term, obviously, but I'd say we might be just out of legs there with 2 rotations down, but see how we go.
Otten brings it back into play, looks towards the western wing, trying to find the intended target. And Murphy couldn't quite find him. Howe was in the thick of the pack as well. It's forced out of play. True centre wing position on the western side here at Balwyn Park. The sun setting on this game.
Yeah, and look, the difference with the rotations, they've lost 2 key backs. So then they've had to play 2 other players with key backs, which lopsides every part of your structure.
So ball back into play once again. Howe, one front position easily, trying to break clear his grey. Didn't quite get enough conviction on the football as he kicked it forward. Danaher, in contrast, did. And managed to boot it inside the forward 40 for the Blackburn Footy Club, and it's out of play.
He's been good, Danaher. He's done a lot of good work as well.
Yeah, he's done a lot of grunt work.
Yeah, he was certainly impressive in that first half as well when Blackburn got on top. Was very good in the scrimmages, probably forced a number of clearances forward for the Blackburn Footy Club. Ball back into play once again. It's the Burners by 43 points in this final term of the Good Friday clash. Danaher again, speak of the devil, hands it out to Bartlett, who's been excellent all afternoon, dribbles it in towards the top of the square. Conker was stripped of the football there by Weatherald, and the Tigers could clear it momentarily at the very least. Flying high was Wilson, couldn't quite take the mark. Fagan affects a crunchy tackle on that player in top Wilson. The umpire, to no avail for the screams of the crowd, calls for a ball up.
I think one of the big differences between the two sides today has been the the pressure on the ball carrier. I think Blackburn have done it so much better than Balwyn.
Yep. I think they've had greater foot speed in their players, so they've been able to, when the Balwyn players got it, they've been able to catch them a lot better. So I've been really impressed with their foot speed today, Blackburn.
Shows they have faith in the tackler that's going to spill their way as well.
Yep, and they've created lots of 2-on-1s.
Rucks go at it. Boundary thrower in 50 metres from the goals of Blackburn. But Balwyn, even when they share it, they put themselves under pressure as the runner was instantly tackled. Well, he didn't have it, says the umpire, so I'll retract that. Balwyn get the quick kick out wide to Gilchrist, and he marks it just inside the centre ring boundary line. He walks inbound, and no one's called him to play on. Kick down the line to half forward. Is Freeman going to get there? The fly comes in from Haley just to create a contest in the end. Wilson at ground level gets it off to a teammate. High up and under. They're all looking at each other instead of going for the ball. And the contest didn't happen really, and it goes out of bounds. Half forward for Balwyn.
He's been valiant, Reddy Gilchrist, hasn't he?
He has.
So it's a boundary throw in 50 metres around from Balwyn's goals. 80 plays 123. Blackburn comprehensive lead.
There's Ottens just goes and stands in the space.
In the hole.
What's his position? Utility everywhere?
Anywhere you like, Gav Casey.
Wherever he's needed is the call. And it's Danaher being wrapped up in a tackle. Another ball up. Still 50 metres around from Balwyn's goal. Moncourse wins the tap, but not to his rover. Eventually, Balwyn get on the ball, but it's Gray holding up.
I reckon the ruck Jews broke even this afternoon.
Been a good contest. Howe tries to jump over Moncourse, but he's a bit of a man mountain at this time of day. Hard to get over. And at ground level, it's again Blackburn through Gray, taking the ball, charges towards the line, and just happy for another stoppage, just to count down the seconds to the final siren.
I like his work on the ground, Moncourse. I think he does a lot of good work when the ball hits the ground as well, and he's willing to bend down and tackle. He's got a lot of upside.
Approaching the 25-minute mark, Blackburn holding on to their 43-point buffer. Howe wins the tap, a double-handed palm down for the Burners. It was unsuccessful. The clearing kick inside the 50 was attempted by Sharman, and it's gone straight into the Blackburn cheer squad.
Yeah, Lukey Matthews.
Yes, legend. He dropped it though.
No, he didn't. No, he caught it.
He caught it, did he? Oh, sorry.
And he'll tell you it was one-handed.
Shame there's no prizes for marks in the crowd as Otten, who will be a contender for the Eastland Player of the Day, clears it for Blackburn towards centre wing. The spoil is applied by Howe, forces it over the line. True centre wing position, western side of Balwyn Park.
I don't think you can undervalue the ability to be able to kick the ball 50 every time you've got it and be able to change up whether it's high or low, and that's what he's been able to do all day.
Certainly been a key contributor as Otten. Was the brother of Andy Otten, Adelaide player, a veteran now, over 10 years at AFL level. We restart proceedings again. Kick around the body from Dorian, who was good in the first half. Hammond was not paid the mark at centre half forward, almost took it on the half volley. It'll be a ball up right on the forward 50 for the Blackburn Footy Club.
He would have been dismissed in old times. They would have claimed that as a catch. Batsman out.
Like Carlton and Adelaide, I think. Max Otten.
So free kick's been picked out of the ruck contest. It's going the way of the Balwyn Footy Club. Monkhurst will be the recipient. That's been an intriguing battle all day between he and Howe. Monkhurst spears it towards centre wing. Haley takes the mark out in front of his opponent there in Patterson. Looks inboard laterally, just travels the required meterage to Taylor Gilchrist. Back he goes to Haley. He spins around. He's got himself into Botter. Breaks the Patterson tackle. Still a chance now for Mill Hughes. It couldn't quite create some space for himself, and will have a bounce true centre wing on the western side.
And really, you know, he gave him no chance. He's handballed it to him, and he was already surrounded by three.
I reckon AFL should change the rule to team holding the ball. If you had a chance, doesn't matter if the guy that got it off him in free space couldn't get around his opponent, but that's not the rule. You've got to have your own prior opportunity. As the ball spills out from the contest and out of bounds it goes as we wind down in this Good Friday game. What a fantastic crowd here at Balwyn, but it's been a great day for Blackburn. They might establish themselves as, I think Vermont is setting the trend, the leaders of the comp, but Blackburn might emerge as that team early in this season just to be a contender as the ball goes getting out of bounds again.
Well, they've got a fantastic game next week against South Croydon, at South Croydon, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, Cheong Park.
Cheong Park, Blackburn, South Croydon, Anzac Day game. So that'll, we'll see exactly where they are then.
And it puts them on big stages, and they can get used to finals in the home and away.
Yep.
But Blackburn are used to playing on a big stage. They've played in finals the last 2 years.
Yeah, but it's a new group. We're just saying, you know, every game's a learning experience.
There's a lot of players out there that have played finals. He's played finals for Blackburn too.
Well, thanks for tearing me down.
Thank you. I know people like doing it to me.
So we're set in motion once again. Ball would have been torn down today themselves, particularly in the first half, as Monkhurst couldn't quite win the tap. Howe managed to take advantage of the ricochet and thump it towards centre half forward in excess of 20 metres. Waiting on top of the football there was Anderson. Kick towards goal. Is that the cream on top of the cake? Yes, it is, from Harkins. Yes. And Blackburn, well, they can celebrate on this Good Friday. 29-129. Balwyn 12-8-80. 29 minutes gone, final term. That's Harkins second on the Eastland scoreboard.
That was outstanding. When you look, I just looked at it on the replay then. He was actually on his hands and knees in the pack, picked the ball up, stood up, accelerated away from the pack and kicked that goal. Absolutely exceptional goal, that.
Unsung hero today, I reckon. We talked about the play before of Gray. I think Harkins done a lot of little subtle things.
Tell you what, they've got a lot of good left footers in this side, and they've all played well.
So it's been a big finish from Blackburn. They've probably finished the game as they wanted to, getting on top and kicking away on the scoreboard. 129 plays 80. Balwyn tried to get it out of the middle. Gilchrist just overruns it, but he's got some help in his teammate in Urban. His hand pass under pressure goes only into the congestion, and it's going to be a ball up centre forward for Balwyn. A lot of tired players. Fagan, he looks like he's 70 as he picks himself up.
Tell you what, he's been hard at the contest today. He's really set the tone early.
So those long sleeves, he just he pulls them up and he works hard. But it's Balwyn getting the clearance. Goebbels has been just charged all over, and the big punch comes in. Ground level, Manuel though gets the quick kick in. Goebbels mark. Yes, he had a big bite of it. No play on situation. The umpire says you chose to play on, and Haley's kick goes across goal, and O'Regan sees it out, and Goebbels just can't catch a break today. Even when he's paid a mark, he doesn't get the kick.
And really, that was poor from Haley, because he did not have an opportunity to do anything then. So he should have been smart enough to go, that's a free kick, go back. Otherwise, have a shot at goal.
Yeah, Otten had a bit of a laugh going, geez, not your day, Jeff. Can't even get a kick at goal after you take a big contested mark. But that punch from Patterson before went 30 metres. They really love the defence is just swarming on Goebbels today. But it's ground level ball. I think that's O'Regan getting it from the contest. Loads up, long ball. It's going to get to the line, and it's a goal. Big goal by Balwyn. There's not much cheering, and that's O'Regan's fourth goal for the day. What a good contribution he's made. He's got better as the contest has gone on.
I think it's his fourth after half time.
Yes, it is.
So he's been, look, and again, he stood up. When you look at him, he stood up in the forward line. Goebbels has been great. I don't think they've had anyone on the ground. That's been their problem.
I think he's gone from a defensive midfielder to getting his own ball. So he's done well. It's 20 goals, 9-129. Blackburn leading Balwyn, 13 goals, 8-86. 32 minutes gone, final term.
We resume play, 43 points to margin. Lawler tried to break clear along with Danaher. He was unsuccessful. Falls out towards the outer wing. Fagan chasing his opponent, did it well. Hand pass comes out from O'Regan. Balwyn trying to force it forward. It was comical. The umpire's picked out a free kick for a push in the back, and it'll come back and be a Tiger free kick in favour of Fraser. Fraser plays on, tries to weave his way out of trouble, out of traffic on the left foot. Goebbels couldn't quite stick it in the 1 mid. He was unsuccessful. Tried to apply the crunching tackle along with his teammate in Freeman, and forces a stoppage. Let's head to our boundary riders with thanks to car sales.
You mentioned Haley before. He's been tagged very hard by number 11 Liam Patterson all day, so he's kept him at bay.
Ball up, 30 metres out from the Tigers' goal. The Blackburn defence harrying their opponents off the ball, and we'll have another stalemate right in front of the Tigers' goal. It's been a great performance from Blackburn away from home. As we tick down the final seconds of this game, Danaher crunched to the ground by his opponent in Urban. We'll have another bounce. Balwyn will be looking to regroup. 43 points. Certainly not something they expected on the big stage on Good Friday. And there's the siren. Jubilation for the Blackburn Football Club on Good Friday. They have stood up on the big stage and registered a comfortable 43-point win, underpinned by a fantastic first half. The final scores on EFL Game Day: Blackburn 29-129, defeating Balwyn 13-8-86 right here at Balwyn Park in front of a massive crowd. What a performance by the Burners.
Oh, certainly a four-quarter performance. They played great footy. You know, when you look at Balwyn, it scored 13-8 and been beaten by
49 points.
49 points. It's a great effort from Blackburn. Strong all over the ground. Forward line good in the air, excellent down on the ground. Their midfield was strong. Great contest in the ruck, but then in the back half they were able to control it in the back half. So really Balwyn just kind of like struggled for their goals, whereas Blackburn were able to get their goals a little bit easier. And as I said, it is going to be a sensational game next Thursday for the Anzac Day game between Blackburn and South Croydon.
Certainly will be. Let's go through the major goal scorers. Matt Bartlett was brilliant, particularly in the first half, with 4 for Blackburn, along with Luke Conker, who certainly lightened up the field in the forward half for the Burners. 2 apiece to Jake Hammond and Jake Harkins, and also singles plenty for the Blackburn Football Club. The majors for Balwyn: 4 goals to Marco Regan, 2 each there to Tom Wilson, and 3 to the name of James Freeman, who was very good early on in the game when Balwyn didn't have many avenues to goal. So certainly a fantastic performance there by the Blackburn Football Club, and gee, they'd be taking a lot of confidence into the coming weeks, even though they are coming up against very heart-worthy, notable opponents.
Well, look, and that's the thing, is that they're going to play. They've got a 3-game stretch which is really tough. Balwyn at Balwyn, South Croydon at South Croydon. Now, I've got a funny feeling it's Vermont at Vermont too, because they can't play at home with their ground being, their club rooms being looked at. I'm not exactly sure on that, but you know, they've had 3 tough games coming up, and this was the first of them. They've worked over this hurdle. They were very, very impressive. There's a lot to like about what they bring. Their intensity at the football, their tackling, their leg speed. They're very well balanced with their right and left footers, their size, their smalls. Nice football side. Football side.
Very much so. And the thing that Brendan Allen wanted was off the back line.
Come on.
That's it, boundary side, with thanks to car sales. Penelope Knight is jubilant victors.
We've got the man of the hour. We have Conga down here. Look at him. It's been a great day. How does it feel? It seems amazing as the sun sets over this fabulous ground. Talk me through the feelings.
Yeah, it's obviously a pretty good win for everyone. We set ourselves for this game, and everyone loves to beat Balwyn, so there you go.
100%.
So 6-day break now. You play South Croydon on Anzac Day. Are you getting paid penalty rates to play on public holidays?
No, mate, we love the big game, so we lift them like this, so let's do it.
And yourself and Bartlett up forward, kick 9 between you. You guys working well together down there?
Yeah, well, normally it's Bathy and Jake, the big guns, kicking all the goals, but we got them today, so.
Yeah. All right, cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
There you go, Luke Conker, who was fantastic with 4 majors to his name this afternoon on the boundary line, with thanks to car sales, alongside Penelope Knight and Hayden Tilbrook. The Blackburn players, will they be converging and singing their song as we approach the last 9 minutes of our coverage? We'll go through the awards very, very shortly. There's, of course, the Tobin Brothers goal of the day, the Trojan workhorse player of the day, and the Eastland player of the afternoon, as the Blackburn players, to the rapturous applause of their supporters, come off the ground after a big victory on the big stage in Premier Division football of the Eastern Footy League, and the Red Jackets are waving here at Balwyn Park away from home. So a magnificent effort there. We'll go through our awards. The first of our awards this afternoon, the Tobin Brothers goal of the day, and the winner receives a $50 Coles Myer gift card. Brash, you have a nominee.
Yeah, I'll go for Jake Larkin in the last quarter. That goal from the boundary line, the effort to put in just to even get near the ball, and hands and knees got up and then slotted a magnificent one from the boundary line. That's a good candidate for goal of the day for mine.
All right, we'll go with that. Any objectors?
Good goal. Good goal, that one.
So a fantastic performance there, and the Blackburn players will get the song in just a moment as they converge in the rooms. The Trojan workhorse of the day, the $150 Trojan pack, is what the winner will receive. Who was a real workhorse? There were plenty for the Blackburn Footy Club.
There were, but I'm going to throw a different one here. I'm going to look at Riley Monkhorst. You're talking about Trojan workhorse. There's a bloke who came in and was clearly beaten early, but I reckon the amount of work he did in that midfield to get his team back into the game, and while they didn't win, I thought right to the very end he was really pushing hard, and I thought he was an outstanding. He tried so hard today, and I thought it was a real workhorse performance.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
There you go. So Riley Moncourse wins our Trojan Workhorse of the Day, receiving a $150 Trojan pack. I think he's a plumber by trade, isn't he? Just like his old man, from what I understand.
Yeah, they're pretty. I think they rule the roost up there in the mountain region. The
from Warrayallick. Yes. That's right. So a fantastic prize there, as the Blackburn players certainly enjoy their victory in the rooms. We also take a look at the Eastland Player of the Day, our 3 2s and 1s, and the winner will receive a $100 Eastland gift card. They've been great supporters of our coverage. We'll start off with our expert commentators. Wayne Brasher, your 3 2 and 1 for the afternoon.
Yeah, look, the first two I think picked themselves. I've given one vote. I'm going to give it to Julian Socio. I thought his job on Sean Cross in the midfield this afternoon I thought was exceptional. I think he kept Cross to about 7 or 8 possessions and Cross really had no influence on the game whatsoever. 2 votes, you've got to go with Luke Conker. His attack on the ball in that forward line, every possession that he got made it dangerous, and Balwyn really didn't have an answer for him this afternoon, but clearly the best man on the ground. Basically, he owned the ground this afternoon was Max Otten, and for mine, he gets my 3 votes quite convincingly.
Fair enough too. Brett Davidson.
Look, you could have given a number of one votes today. I think there was probably a 10 or 11 Blackburn players that could have deserved 1 vote. There weren't too many 4-quarter Balwyn players. Marco O'Regan, I thought was a little bit stiff. He's kicked 4, but I'll give him 1 to Anthony Fagan. I just thought his ability early on to just influence the contest with his attack on ball and player set him up. He may not have got a lot of possessions, but I think all the players that went out onto him, he was able to beat them. So I thought I gave him 1. And then again, I agree with Brash. 2 to Conker. He's the best small forward on the day. Every single time the ball went near him, he looked like he was going to do something special. And Max Otten was just sensational in that back half today. He just controlled everything. He was allowed to control everything. I didn't think they played him well enough, but it's not his fault that no one wants to go near him, so I thought he was outstanding all day.
Well, it's one of those times when you wish you went first, because that's exactly how I would have said it and seen it. I didn't give Fagan 1. I gave Socio 1 for his role. Rash said it all. Fantastic on Cross. 2 votes to Conker and 3 to Otten.
There you go, and well, I wouldn't say you took the words right out of my mouth, but it seems to be unanimous as far as the frees are concerned. I actually gave 1 to Matt Bartlett. I thought he was very good in the first half when Blackburn needed to establish their dominance, and he did so in the second term, really putting the foot to Balwyn's throat. He had 4 goals of the day. I gave him 1 vote. 2 votes, I thought Anthony Fagan was in the thick of the action all day. He certainly created a lot of intercepts and a lot of chances for the Blackburn Footy Club, and I gave my 3 votes to Max Otten. He was the master interceptor, just read the play in a far superior way to any of his opponents. So I think Max Otten is the unanimous Eastland Player of the Day, and he'll win a $100 Eastland gift card where he could buy all sorts of implements and perhaps take advantage of the Easter weekend as well with that gift card.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
if you're a handyman.
Exactly right. We'll wrap it up for our Good Friday coverage right here. Hope you really enjoyed the coverage on SEN Plus 1377, and of course streaming live around the globe on EFL.org.au. It was a standalone game, and for much of the afternoon it was probably the only footy action, local footy's the only footy action you could see really, with the AFL not starting till later on.
Oh look, and the thing is, it's not only the AFL but other leagues now are getting in on the Good Friday, but once again, the Eastern Football League were the forerunners in this arena for this type of game, and also with Anzac Day. And once again, this contest, even though the result didn't go Balwyn's way, but for Blackburn, look, they'd be walking out of here tonight feeling pretty happy with themselves.
Well, thank the remainder of our team, of course. Our car sales boundary riders were fantastic all afternoon, getting all of the key interviews, and there were plenty of injuries as well. Firstly, Hayden Tilbrook, thanks again. Did you enjoy the afternoon?
Loved it, mate. Can't wait for next week.
There you go. And of course, Penelope Knight, it was great weather for football, 22 degrees. A lot of the players had the zinc cream on as well, so I imagine you revelled.
Oh, it was just a perfect day, perfect conditions. You couldn't ask for more here at Balwyn Park. It's been a fabulous afternoon for local football.
No doubt about that. Wayne Brasher, well, we've seen a team in the Premier Division make a statement today, haven't we? Thanks for your contribution in special comments.
Thank you very much, Damien. Always a pleasure to work with you, my friend.
And on you, Brett Davidson, the master coach and the master expert comments man as well. I think he would have been very happy with Blackburn's first half performance. That was as good as football as you would ever see.
Yeah, look, I've been lucky enough in the first 3 weeks to see a Vermont side that I thought was going to be very, very difficult to beat anywhere. But today I've seen a side that I think when they play each other, it's going to be an absolutely cracking game. So to Blackburn's credit, magnificent today, I thought they were, and really looking forward to seeing how they go for the rest of the year.
That's right, and we'll be covering the Anzac Day game as well between South Croydon and Blackburn. Gav Casey, my partner in crime and the commentary chair, thanks again for your help, and it was a good day, certainly a lot to reflect on, and a brilliant game of football, particularly early on when the pace was frenetic.
And when the heat was on, Blackburn emerged as one of this season's true contenders, so fantastic to see it firsthand.
So that wraps up our coverage on Good Friday football with the Eastern Football League. Blackburn 29-129, easily accounting for Balwyn 13-8-86, a 43-point margin. Premier Division football at its best. A great win for the Burners here on EFL Game Day. Thank you.